talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, 1 minute past 1. I'm Will Hobbs and here are your sports headlines. Roy Hodgson's told talkSPORT what Isak and Wissa did to force a move is not a good look for football and fears it may encourage other players to down tools. Isak finally got his Liverpool move, of course, for a British record £125 million. But Hodgson says despite spending over £440 million, missing out on Guehi is a big blow for the champions.
I mean, Guehi, I would put right up there alongside Isak in terms of those, and Viets possibly in terms of the quality of those signings they've made.
To make matters worse for Eagles skipper, his Palace exit video, which was prepared in case, was somehow leaked. How awkward. Palace fan and comedian Andrew Mensah told us Selhurst is delighted that move never got over the line.
To keep him kind of feels like a bit weird almost, do you know what I mean? It kind of feels, because as you said, like all summer long, I think he was the one out of all the crop of players, Mateta, Walton, even Ebbs, that they thought would go first.
Elsewhere, Grimsby Town have been fined £20,000 for fielding an ineligible player in their Carabao Cup win over Manchester United. Midfielder Clark O'Dore's form was submitted at 1 minute past midnight on the day before the game, thus missing the deadline. With the Ashes less than 12 weeks away, meanwhile, Aussie captain Pat Cummins has a back injury. Cricket Australia are confident he will be fit for the first test in Perth, even if he doesn't play in the meantime. I suppose they have to say that regardless. And right now, England are batting first in their first ODI against South Africa at Headingley. Jamie Smith and Ben Duckett are opening the batting, and fast bowler Sonny Baker's on debut. We'll keep you updated with all the big moments as they happen on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT News.
The Home Office warns foreign students leave when your visa expires or face deportation. And the pound's on course for its biggest single-day fall in months. Emma's back at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With a huge range of premium brands available, we've got what you need to drive away happy every time. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Jamie Smith's just banged one down the ground. The weather, rain moving eastwards across southern counties of England and Wales. Elsewhere, a mixture of sunny spells and scattered showers with a risk of showers at Headingley later. Lighter winds, temperatures around average.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, Charlie, please tell us what's coming up.
Coming up over the next 3 hours, we assess the Windows winners and losers. Sir Nick Faldo gives us his verdict on Luke Donald's captain's picks, and a top goalkeeping coach on keeping James Trafford's chin up.
That's right, in light of the Donnarumma signing, of course. Charlie will also bring us another Baker's Dozen. The day you had to say goodbye, then had to go back, Mark Guehi. And we're joined by the author of a fascinating new book on the last England manager to win the World Cup.
Yes, all this plus Borough-supporting singer-songwriter Finn Forster pops in. We'll salute the World Toe Wrestling Champion, International Week, and we'll discover, that's it, which of us out-predicted ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT knows everything, but one of us knew more about football than ChatGPT last week. And we'll find out who a little bit later on. 5 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Paul. Just past Jim White as he left there.
Yeah.
Wiping the sweat from his brow, Paul.
Yeah.
He's done
like James Brown leading the stage.
That's what it was like.
He led
was
from
like
the stage.
Simon Jordan was putting like a cloak on him.
Yeah.
as he left.
Must be like when the marathon finishes. When he walks out that studio at 10 o'clock last night, gets a Mars bar and a little silver thing, bit of foil round his
He wears
shoulder.
that anyway. He's got like a silver shawl anyway.
Yeah, he does wear a silver shawl.
He loves that.
So, what a window then.
Yes.
It was absolutely nuts. I was listening to the boys last night and everybody had put in their sheets. The sheets had gone in.
The deal sheets.
Yeah. A word that I think it's fair to say that Manu Petit struggled with yesterday. So listen out for the clips of the week
this Friday.
Yeah. But yeah, the trade sheets went in and then suddenly the deal sheet, should I say, went in, and then we found out who'd gone where. It was
Wissers was apparently 30 seconds before the window shut.
Imagine that.
They got the deal done.
You've had like 3 months to get this deal done.
He's been saying, I want to go to Newcastle.
Yeah. I know. It's
unbelievable.
Absolutely crazy. I was pleased my lot got a bit of business done in Colin Moani as well. Looks at
is it a loan with an obligation, Paul?
Well, we don't know yet. Apparently, we were originally told it was just a loan, but now there's a few stories suggesting that there is an option, but I don't know what it is. I know PSG wanted 52 million. I mean, we're going to have a chat with Anil Kandola, one of our top transfer team, in a few moments' time.
Yeah.
And, I mean, everybody wants a bit more. I think another defensive player would have been good, a bit of quality, a bit of experience at the back, because you are relying on sort of Van der Ven and Romero staying fit all season, and that's not really happened before. So, but apart from that, we're going to hear from Jeff Stelling. Jeff was saying this morning on breakfast who he thought had been the real winners in the window, and Anil will join us in a few moments' time. It's still within the body of that chat. Very interested to hear how you feel you were maybe shortchanged. And
I can't help but feel so sorry for Mark Guehi. I know he's a multi-millionaire Premier League footballer and has like a brilliant life because of that. But for someone to act sort of responsibly and good for the club and for the fans and to do it all properly, and for him to write a goodbye message and do a video and all those things, then for it not to happen.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed for him. I don't know if he's embarrassed or not.
I don't think he should be embarrassed at all. I think he's been a model pro. I don't quite know what the moral is, though. The two players that have gone out their way to gerrymander and move out the club get what they want, and the one player that did everything right and acted with real class finds himself not moving.
Well, we'll find out in January, won't we?
Our old mate Nick Godwin, who used to work with us here on talkSPORT, he made a very good point this morning. I noticed on social media. It's a kind of good win, as Mentz was just saying. It's a good win for Palace, simply because, for Oliver Glasner to have said what he said the day before, we cannot lose him. Had he then gone, and there are some big jobs, as we know, in the Bundesliga at the moment, it could have been, they could have lost their manager and they could have lost their best player. As it is, they keep Mark Guehi at least until... And he seems such a solid individual that I don't doubt for 1 minute he'll get on with it.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there'll be any problem slotting back into the side.
But, I mean, it does lead you to have that conversation about when did you leave?
Yes.
And then come back again. Years and years ago, when I was a kid, I was working for Fender. And for whatever reason, I was offered this other job. And it all sounded very exciting.
Yeah.
But the guys at Fender were very nice. They said, we don't want to lose you, but if it doesn't work out, just give us a call.
Oh, that's nice. And
I realised about 3 days into this job, it was an absolute disaster. Yeah. And one of the guys at Fender had phoned me and said, how's it going? I said, I've made a terrible mistake. And so he's had a chat with a gaffer there who has contacted me, and I went back the following week.
I did a week.
So
bye, lads.
I turn up at my desk and everybody saying, Paul, but what happened? And I'm telling the story. One of the boys who worked, one of the sales guys, he'd been off that week.
Yeah.
So he's come in that day. He said, right, Paul. And they said, what are they saying welcome back for? He had no idea I'd gone. So it can happen sometimes. And I'd say, I don't mean, but those moments when you did all your goodbyes, I didn't know until Will just said that his farewell video had got leaked. That's a great shame. Yeah. So when did you leave, then have to come back again? TalkSport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J. There's been a breaking story in the last hour, which we're going to cover now with that man in Manchester, the former Sunderland defender, Mickey Gray. We're going to be chatting to him in a few moments' time. Grimsby apparently have fielded an eligible player for the game against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. Clark O'Dour was registered 1 minute. You almost feel you should tighten your voice and say, well, within Football League regulations, he was registered 1 minute and 59 seconds after the 12 o'clock deadline.
The deadline's a deadline.
Oh, grow up.
Deadline's a deadline. But if Wissa is a Newcastle United player, 30 seconds before the transfer window shuts.
Yeah, I know.
1 minute 59.
Look, I'm being facetious, I know. Manchester United at the moment have declined to comment. Can you imagine the optics of them saying we want it replayed?
I don't think they'll care about the optics. I bet they ask for a replay.
No, I don't think they will. They've been fined 20 grand, 10,000 now, 10,000 suspended. Mickey Graham in Manchester joins us. Hi, Mickey.
Hello, Mickey.
Oh, Charlie, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Not bad. It wouldn't be a great look, Mick, would it, for them to say we want a replay and we want it now?
No, I think everybody in the country would just ridicule Manchester United, wouldn't they? I mean, it was so unfortunate by the looks of things. And just having a quick read, they were a minute out from the signature, the registration. So I think, they obviously tried to get it done. They said it was a computer. There was a meltdown or something with the computer, so they couldn't get something sorted. But it's 10,000. I think they'll accept that because they're going to make an absolute fortune in Grimsby because of the TV money that comes into the club as well. But I don't think anybody be expecting Manchester United to maybe criticise or maybe ask the question, can we actually be put back into the Carabao Cup?
Well, momentum's everything in sport, Mickey, as you know, and this might be the stroke of luck.
You sound like Ruben Amorim.
This might be what he needs. This might be the turn.
I should point out there's precedent for this. Liverpool, Accrington Stanley and Sunderland, Mickey's old club, have all been in a very similar situation like to this. And in each occasion, a fine was all that happened. So it's not as if the precedent, Mickey, is a replay. So I think the fine sounds adequate.
Yeah. I think something similar happened in the FA Cup, Paul. I don't know if it was the three clubs that you just mentioned there before, but I think this has been a different situation and obviously huge story at the time when Grimsby obviously knocked Manchester United out through the penalties. And I believe he missed a penalty as well, didn't he? Was it a door?
Yeah. Oh, did he?
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, he missed a penalty as well. So he must have been a little bit nervy when he saw that news. But I just think everything will lay low a little bit. But, it's a big story because it's Grimsby and I think you will see them play Sheffield Wednesday in the next round.
Yeah. We're going to have a chat with David Priest, a man you know pretty well, later on, and talk about putting an arm around James Trafford today. It's been interesting times in the goalkeeping front up in Manchester. Mickey, your patch.
Yeah, it is. And it's a strange one, isn't it? Because, James Trafford had the chance to go elsewhere, but because Manchester City had the buyback clause, he obviously expected to go back to Man City. But I think possibly when he walked through the door, maybe he thought he was going to be a kind of a number two behind Edison. We all know that that's all changed now with Donnarumma walking through the door. And, if you're going to learn, you're going to learn from the best. But, when you walk in the door at a club like Man City, you can't make mistakes. I think he did in his first game. He certainly did in the Tottenham game, Paul, which you'd have been quite happy about as well. And and it's all changed at Manchester United as well. Everybody thought that they were going to go and get Martinez. I actually thought they would go for Martinez because, they're trying to buy young, which you can see with some of the players that have come through the door in the summer as well. But I still think having that experienced goalkeeper is exactly probably what Manchester United needed. And I think everybody would have been excited about Martinez. I'm not quite sure about the new guy. Forgive me for not knowing his name.
Sen Lamens.
Lamens, that's right, yeah.
His numbers, Mickey, are good, though. Some of the stats, as much as we can read into that, he made more saves than any other goalkeeper, 127, recorded the Belgian League's highest shot-to-save ratio. He also saved 5 of the 7 penalties he faced during the season. So, look, he's obviously a good young keeper. I know what you mean. You kind of felt Martinez was the obvious choice to give him a little bit of calm at the back, but they obviously really rate this guy.
Well, yeah, they do. But again, his potential, I believe he's only been playing first-team football for a season and, he's made that many saves and penalty saves. What does that say about his defence? I always look at goalkeepers and I say, they've made more saves than anybody else in the Premier League or whichever league that they're playing in. Then I always ask the question as well, sorry, what about the defence in front of you? They're not doing their job. That's probably why he's had to make so many saves. Yeah. People like Aaron Ramsdale, when he went out on loan about 2 or 3 seasons ago, I think he'd made more saves than anybody else in the Premier League, and it was all down to the players in front of him. So I think Eric Ten Hag, beg your pardon, Ruben Amorim will be hoping that if he does start playing first-team football, that his defenders maybe turn up, because in the 3 games I've seen them play, they still look a little bit vulnerable, Man United.
Eric Ten Hag, you heard he's coming back, have you? Have you heard a whisper?
Well, not to Man United, but, well, after 2 games in charge, my goodness, it's all happening in that transfer window.
There's bad transfer windows and there's bad transfer windows. Yeah. Eric Ten Hag had a bad transfer.
He was very upfront. I've read some quotes from him saying, I cannot believe they can make a decision like this after 2 games. They've not given me a chance. But, I mean, obviously...
Didn't like the vibe.
No, they really didn't like the vibe. That's quite clear. Mickey, we'll let you crack on. Thanks for joining us. All the best.
Thanks, fellas. Have a good day.
Mickey Gray, our man in Manchester, on that news that, a £20,000 fine, 10 suspended for Grimsby for fielding a player they shouldn't have done against Manchester United. Sadly, United fans, no replay.
Lloyd will pay it. Lloyd Griffith's got plenty.
Yeah, Lloyd will pay it. Lloyd, it'll be like Sting in Quadrophenia. Yeah. Will you take a cheque? It'll be like that when he's in court.
He'll just turn up.
The ace face. Anyway, we're going to stick with the window very shortly. Anil Kandola was part of our top team on transfer deadline day. We're going to look at some of the winners and losers. Some deals that didn't get done. Feel like they were pretty costly to some clubs there. Jeff Stelling on breakfast this morning had an interesting take on the most successful window, the real window winners. And it wasn't Liverpool, which I think most people feel it probably was. We'll chat to Anil in a few moments' time. We're here with our good friends at Tool Station. This summer, shop Tool Station, the award-winning Hawksbee lawnmower range, in-store, on the app and online. Next stop, Tool Station. keep in touch with the one day being played at Headingley this afternoon between England and South Africa. England are 1 down. So Ben Duckett has gone for 5. England are currently 30 for 1 with Smith and Root at the crease. We'll be crossing to John Norman a little bit later on. Keep you in touch with all the big moments of the game. But the window unfolded yesterday on talkSPORT. As always, with myself and Andy, delighted to be part of it. It was mayhem. £3 billion spent for the first time. It was nuts. This is how it all unfolded on talkSPORT yesterday.
Transfer deadline day with me, Jim White, and we are live on talkSPORT.
Ball given away to Isak. There's his goal. Alexander Isak.
Worth the wait.
Go on.
A 3-word tweet. Alexander Isak confirmed as a Liverpool player.
And another attacker, along with Nick Voltemada, is about to come in. Johan Wissa from Brentford will join. He's in Newcastle.
I mean, one stinker goes out, one stinker comes in. Well done, Newcastle. You've got one coming in doing the same thing to Brentford that you were complaining about.
The young goalkeeper from Royal Antwerp, we're hearing, is travelling to Manchester, and it would appear that this is on €21 million, no sell on 5-year contract.
Some breaking news. It's our understanding that Liverpool and Crystal Palace have agreed a fee for Mark Guehi.
This could be the best transfer window a club's ever had.
Good drop to Guehi. Guehi with a curler! What a moment!
Does he stay or does he go now? That's the burning question that we've been asking for the past couple of hours. That move to Liverpool is off.
I think Guehi will be devastated. There is a chance that this opportunity might not come for him again. But it just shows you that sometimes being professional, doing things the right way, doesn't get you what you want.
Oliver Glasner, the Crystal Palace manager, has played a direct role in this deal not going through because he threatened to walk away from Palace if his captain was sold without a replacement coming in.
Transfer deadline day. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, certainly was. Some of those very late deals, and as you were saying, 30 seconds on the Vissa deal to get it over the line. Wow.
A bit like my son when he leaves for a train. That
yeah. Yes. How late did you leave it? talksport.com, text 810. Some people, often you find in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, you're like
one person sits in the car while the other one gets.
The other one wants to get to the airport 4 hours before.
That's me, yeah.
The other one wants to get to the airport 15 minutes before the flight, just a minute before. So anyway,
nice.
If you're in one of those relationships, let us know. So anyway, Anil Kandola was part of our top team yesterday. Joins us now. Hi, Anil.
Hello, good afternoon. It's a relief, shall we say, that we're finally on the other side of the transfer window. It has just been absolutely unprecedented. As you've already said, the £3 billion threshold for the first time in history was passed. Just under 350 million was spent yesterday alone. To put that into context, the Premier League has spent more money this summer than Serie A, the Bundesliga, La Liga and Ligue 1 combined. Wow. So that just illustrates how much the English football top flight is so lucrative.
I mean, the buying power of the sort of middling teams, middling even to lower teams now, the sort of money that can be spent, top dollar in many cases in leagues like Serie A, whereas it's a 30, 35 million for someone is just bang average in the Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. You only have to put into context with one example of Alejandro Garnacho. Of course, moving to Chelsea, he left for 40 million, and everyone, including myself, probably is saying that's somewhat of a bargain for a player his age. So exactly that, it puts into context the beast that is the Premier League. But without it, we wouldn't have much to talk about, especially when it comes to the transfer window.
Everybody's talking about who had the best window. And I think the general consensus is, looking at the quality they've brought in, it's Liverpool. But Jeff Stelling on breakfast this morning had another take on it. This is what Jeff had to say.
Signings that they brought in, I think Mohamed Kudus from West Ham, I think they paid a lot of money for him.
Just can't hear him.
But I do think he's a good player.
Jeff, unless you're a good lip reader, you're going to be struggling here.
I'll tell you what he said, Paul. He said Spurs had the best window.
What?
Sounds like something I'd say.
What?
He said Spurs have had the best transfer window.
They've not had a bad window.
Yeah.
I think we've got it. Let's bring you, Jeff. Here he is.
Signings that they brought in, I think Mohamed Kudus from West Ham, I think they paid a lot of money for him, but I do think he's a good player. Xavi Simons, I like very much indeed. I think it's going to be a terrific signing for them. Palhinha, We've seen already what a fantastic signing he could be. And they brought in Randall Kolo-Muani on loan from PSG. Now, look, when I've seen him in the past, I'll be brutally honest, mainly for the French national side, I haven't always been impressed, but he's certainly got a pedigree. PSG on loan at Juventus. They brought him in as well. And I just think, numerically, maybe down on some other clubs, but I think they brought in quality. And I see Spurs having a good season.
It's got a great point, but that Spurs midfield is fantastic.
Yeah, well, look, they've brought in some very good players after a bit of a sticky start around Gibbs White and Eze and stuff. They have brought in some quality. The thing is, Anil, with Liverpool, Wirtz is still finding his feet. They've got him in early, which has helped, so he is finding his feet and he should be up to speed soon. Ekitike has hit the ground running.
Has, yeah.
Isak doesn't have to, of course, because he's already been playing in the Premier League. I mean, they're two top quality strikers and a top quality midfielder. I mean, I'm still sticking with them for the winners of the window.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to disagree with what you've just said there. Look, at the end of the day, when a team smashes the British record twice in the same summer, as you said, it's very hard to almost go against them. You know, their total spending was 415 million. Of course, that would have reached the 450 million pound market if the Mark Guehi transfer was to get over the line. Of course, they weren't successful. And I think, look, football transfers, it's all about optics, isn't it? If, of course, they got the Guehi deal over the line, I don't even think this would be a conversation. But, of course, that was the lasting factor in their transfer window. But at the end of the day, as you've already said, they've got some big names through the door for a lot of money, of course. But at the end of the day, I just think it's a testament to Arne Slot. You know, they won the league with relative ease last season, and for them to strengthen in the way that they have was a massive statement, not just to the Premier League, but also to the rest of Europe. But I think if you were going to ask me who I think have been the winners of the transfer window, for me, I think it's Chelsea. Look, they've totally revamped their forward line. They've got João Pedro, Gittins, Liam Delap. They've also took advantage, of course, of the Garnacho situation, as I've already said, relatively a decent price as well. And then you look at the sales as well that they've got, you know, just under 50 million for Noni Madueke. João Felix went for a very good price as well. So I think it just shows exactly, you know, not necessarily just about the transfers that have come in, but also the ones that have left. And I think potentially they're showing exactly how to do it now in the transfer window, because they've really made a splash in both ways.
That's a great point. Getting people out the door has become as important as getting people in.
They've got a net spend of £70 million, and considering how they've revamped their front line. I know if Andy was sitting here, as he left yesterday, he felt they'd left themselves short up top by letting Jackson go and having Delap out with what seems quite a nasty muscle injury that could keep him out for a while. He feels that they haven't, you know, they needed one other player to come in and play up front. So I'm sure that would be his argument. There may be the losers. I mean, you look at some of the teams that didn't do as much business as they'd like to have done. Fulham got Kevin over the line in the end, but they didn't do an awful lot. Marco Silva was making noises, wasn't he, before the window closed about, you know, wanting to compete. I wonder if they've done enough.
Yeah, exactly that. He was very vocal in regards to his thoughts and feelings of the transfer window Fulham have had. You know, I think his words were along the lines of, it's not how he expected, and if they're not going to, you know, revamp their squad, then they're simply not going to be in the condition that is required in the Premier League. I think right amongst the losers of this transfer window. Look, at the end of the day, they've had a bit of a disaster one. You know, they even had a couple of deals fall through right at the death as well. And I think in a wider aspect, you know, you look at managers like Marco Silva, Oliver Glasner. Look, these managers have got very high stock amongst a lot of European teams across the continent. And at the end of the day, if they're performing at a certain level of not being trusted or backed in the way that they'd like to be able to continue on their successes, then unfortunately I think this will only lead to one thing, which is at the end of the day of these managers moving on. And like I've already said, you know, there are a couple of teams, and another one I think that I do really feel for are Brentford. You know, it's not just the players and the big stars they've lost in Mbumo and Wissa, they've also lost their manager as well, who was such a mainstay of their success. So I think they're going to have a bit of a difficult season as well. So, you know, it's almost now a situation. I know, of course, we'll have January, and before we know it, we'll be right there again in the transfer. But look, you know, it does become very worrying when you've got no time remaining to revamp that squad in any way, and you're almost stuck with what you've got. So yeah, some very difficult moments for certain clubs in the Premier League for sure.
Anil, thanks very much.
Cheers, Anil.
Thank you as always, gents.
Anil Kandola there, part of the talkSPORT transfer team that brought you deadline day, and I'm missing it already. I think we should just have we should have a month when it closes in January, and the rest of the time
it's just like the transfer window.
Basket case.
Sunderland have got a whole new squad.
They've done some good late business.
Yeah, Brian Brobby from Ajax.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It could work out very well for him. That's
the thing, you don't know, do you?
We'll see.
Not made a bad start anyway.
No, that's right. Paul Hawksbee, we're going to talk Borough later on, who've made a very good start under Rob Edwards. We're going to hear from one of their fans, Finn Forster, who's a musician and big Borough fan, so we'll chat to him later on. But we never got a chance yesterday to pay tribute to Joe Bugner. We brought you the news that he had sadly passed away, aged 75. We're going to chat to Gareth A. Davis in a moment. He fought the greats in an era of greats. He strode eras, really, didn't he? Yeah, it's a fascinating story. But he was also the guy who sort of shot Bambi's mum as well in many cases by beating Henry Cooper. It was an interesting career. So if you don't know much about him, Gareth A. Davis from Fight Night from The Telegraph will be joining us to talk about that and more from the world of boxing after the news headlines.
So Liverpool have got exactly what they wanted in the end. Alexander Isak joined on deadline day from Newcastle for a British record £125 million. And talkSPORT's Danny Murphy has called him the complete centre-forward.
If you were to choose a centre-forward looking around Europe, he'd be at the top of most people's list. So I think Liverpool fans will be ecstatic, excited. The only disappointment is the saga around it.
But the Reds didn't quite hit their mark elsewhere. Guehi's move from Palace fell through. We understand Oliver Glasner threatened to walk out if the defender was sold. Our transfer correspondent Ben Jacobs told us Brighton's Igor choosing West Ham was the deciding factor.
And as a result, they came back to that original agreement at the beginning of the day. If two come in, Guehi can leave. Glasner didn't like it, but he accepted it. So only one came in, and then they had to have meetings again. And I think that Steve Parish probably changed his opinion and backed his manager.
So how big of a miss could that be for the title defenders? Well, ex-Liverpool forward and fan of the club Ricky Lambert told talkSPORT Liverpool do need Guehi.
Our best run ever. Joe Gomez was at the centre of our defence for all that beginning of that season. So there's a player there as well. Yeah. But the cover-wise, we probably did need another centre-back.
Elsewhere, Edison is off to Fenerbahce for 12 million, while Man City have signed Donnarumma. And Johan Wissa says he's happy to sign for one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League. More on all that at talkSPORT.com.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. England playing South Africa this afternoon. Headingley Joe Root has just left the party. 44 for 2. Now England, Duckett and Root have gone. We'll be crossing to John Norman later on for updates. Now, it was during the show yesterday, chatting to Danny Kelly around deadline day, that we discovered that Joe Bugner had passed away, aged 75. A great British heavyweight who fought many great fighters in an era of great fighters. We would have paid more of a tribute to him had it not been deadline day, and we wanted to put that right today, as have many of the papers, including the Telegraph. Gareth A. Davis, who we know here on talkSPORT from Fight Night and more, looked at the 5 fights that defined Joe Bugner, and he joins us now. Hi, Gareth.
Hey, Gareth.
Good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon, Charlie. How are you?
Good, thank you. He was a bit of a, as you make that, I think I said this to Danny yesterday, but he was a bit of a panto villain, wasn't he, boxing-wise? He was the man who, say, shot Bambi's mum. He beat Henry Cooper controversially, and he lost to Frank Bruno, if you top and towel. But in the middle of that were 2 fights with Ali and a pretty memorable fight with Joe Frazier as well.
Well, you rightly say it. And, 32 years in the sport, bookended by 2 British household names in Henry Cooper, controversially, which I'll come to in a minute, he only won 1 of those 5 fights that I mentioned there, but lost to Frank Bruno when he was 37 and Bruno was 25 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, no less. And I think it was the biggest gate at the time, the biggest certainly the biggest earner of a big fight. Joe Bugner was a really big figure who would have lived with any of the heavyweights of today. He was naturally very, very big men, 6'4", 16 stone in an era when they were maybe that tall sometimes, but weighed a stone or more or less. Like he was 23 pounds heavier than Henry Cooper at 21 when he beat Cooper at 37 and retired him forever. Some great stories about him, though. Like in that fight, Andy Smith, his manager, the father of Robert Smith, the Secretary of the Boxing Board of Control, slapping him around the face, jumping in the ring and slapping him around the face after the 14th round and saying, it's 7 apiece here, you need to go and win this fight. Well, he did, and he won it by a quarter of a point. The referee, Harry Gibbs, was referee and judge as it was at the time. He was only 21. You could only fight for the British title then. And of course, Andy Smith then got pulled up in front of the Boxing Board of Control, which Robert Smith told me with great glee about yesterday. And Robert, of course, was around Bugner growing up because he'd come here from Hungary with his mother and I think 5 siblings. As a teenager, he'd won British schoolboy discus championships. He was a great athlete. As they said, he was the harmless Hercules he looks like a Greek statue, and when he got in a ring, the Greek statue had more moves than him. That's what I joke about, because he was a very defensive fighter.
Yeah, that was the thing. He wasn't the most exciting fighter, and he used to get a lot of stick for it. But as you say in your piece today, I remember the first Ali fight. He did get a lot of credibility, and his stock did rise after that, because he did go toe-to-toe with Ali, although he won over 12 rounds unanimously. He fought well, didn't he?
Look, he had 83 fights over 32 years. He fought Ali twice and Frazier once in their pomp in the mid-70s. He was in the top 5 heavyweights of the world, and probably the great golden age of the era. Certainly in one year, he was... That year, his stock rose in that Ali fight, even though he lost it over 12 rounds. He fought Frazier in a life and death battle at Earl's Courts the following year. And when you think where Frazier was at that time, so he was truly in the mix. He was beautiful looking. He was an Adonis. He did movies. He did Street Fighter with Claude Van Damme in the 90s. So he was a great figure, a great character. You know, when he fought Ali the second time, Paul, he'd gone into a hyperbaric or a humidity chamber at RAF Witten, because he was based in St Ives, and he'd done all the altitude training. That fight was outdoors in Kuala Lumpur, over 15 rounds for the WBA and WBC titles against Ali. And Ali ended up on a drip in hospital afterwards. And Bugner just took it easy in the fight. They were going to fight easy for the first half of the fight and take it to Ali in the second. But Joe Bugner had no energy left. He lost 12 pounds during the fight, apparently. But he was pilloried afterwards, because the next morning he was swimming laps in the pool, apparently, in the hotel pool, the fight hotel, sipping champagne after every lap. So he was just one of those guys, and you know, he became a villain. He went into the Celebrity Get Me Out of Here in the Jungle, didn't he, a few years ago, I think 14, 15 years ago. Great character, covered his son's career a little bit, but a young Bugner who didn't have the athleticism of his father, but a brilliant character, and definitely really pleased to see all the coverage he's got today, because we don't remember these legends enough anymore.
Yeah, I think he was a late replacement. Am I right for the Frank Bruno fight? I think that was a bit of Barry Hearn's show business.
Didn't they build it up into a bit of a grudge match? The young buck versus the old stager, and they did their best. You kind of never felt. I remember the fight. It was at White Hart, and you never felt Frank was going to lose it, really.
No, it was a coming of age moment against a big name from the past. Yeah. He was called Aussie Joe by then, of course, because he'd moved to Australia. And like you say, he was very much the pantomime villain in that. And, you know, he went 8 rounds with Frank Bruno, and he'd said in the build-up, oh, these heavyweights aren't as good as the era that I came from. Just the things we hear today, really, that, you know, from Lennox Lewis and so on.
Sadly, Gareth, though, as is the case with many boxers, the money he did have, he pumped into a business that failed, and he ended his life with a degenerative brain disease and penniless, which is a very sad end over in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, he was with eventually the love of his life. I'm not going to want to call him the late Joe Bugner or Lothario, but I think he was a great lover of women. He had a couple of marriages, and people remember him as being a great character, and his wife as well, a great character out in Australia. Like you say, 83 fights. When he lost to Bruno, actually, he said, that's it for me in the ring. I won't be coming back. And yet 8 years later and 9 fights later, he was still fighting, looking to, when he'd seen George Foreman win the world title in, what was it 93 in my mind now, he thought, I'm going to make a comeback and win a world title and be older than Big George and win a world title. And I do think the effects of the sport were there on him at the end, but listen, he loved it. I mean, well, they say he hated boxing, but he was just drawn to it. But it's a long and dangerous pursuit, doing it for 32 years. And may his body and his mind rest in peace right now.
Absolutely. Gareth, good to talk to you. Gareth. Appreciate it. Thanks for you'll take it you're back on Saturday with Fight Night, are you?
I'm not on Saturday. A week on Saturday, I'm in Vegas, of course. As you know, I used to be called Gareth A. Vegas for the amount of times I was spending there. I'm there with Adam Catterall the week Saturday after next.
Okay.
For Canelo versus Crawford. We're coming live. from there on the Saturday afternoon. This weekend, I'm at Bare Knuckle in Bristol. That is live on the talkSPORT YouTube channel as well.
Okay, James de Gale's just moved into that, hasn't he?
He has. You'll be in there next against everything.
Dear me. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Cheers, Gareth. All the best.
Cheers, gents. Always a pleasure.
Gareth A. Davis there on the life and times of Joe Bugner, who died yesterday. This Saturday, though, there is some boxing. Rising Brit, an Olympic silver medalist. 2 Olympics he went to. Pat McCormack faces seasoned Mexican Miguel Parra. The WBA Intercontinental Welterweight title showdown. I think a world title eliminator. Yeah. So you can watch that only on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing.
Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
So Nick Faldo joins us for a golf chat very, very shortly. We're delighted to say we're here with Toolstation, ready to help at over 580 stations nationwide. Next stop, Toolstation. Paul Hawksbee, Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Luke Donald made his picks for the European Ryder Cup team. Yesterday's wildcard picks. This is what he had to say about his selections.
Certainly can't hurt, can it? I mean, I think we have a lot of great memories and experiences to draw from Rome. I do realise, though, this is going to be a different challenge, and we'll attack it from a different angle. Yeah, I think, just going down the Ryder Cup points list, the top 11 have made this team. John is the other one. Obviously, he didn't play many counting events, but I think it just shows that we were pretty close with the qualification system, and very happy with the strength of those 12.
Let's get the thoughts now on those picks and on the Ryder Cup. On a man who captained the team at Valhalla, of course, played in numerous Ryder Cups. The great Sir Nick Faldo. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, good afternoon. Good morning here.
Yeah. So
bright and early.
Yeah.
Got me up.
Oh, so good. Anyway. Sorry, Nick. You're looking good for an early morning.
Go and have 9 holes, Nick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no great surprises, were there? What do you make of Luke's picks?
No, it's good stuff. I chatted with Luke a couple of weeks back at my British Masters, and the fact that they only added one guy who's obviously playing great. He quite fully qualified. Same team as Rome, which has got to be good, isn't it? I mean, Rome was amazing, great atmosphere, great unity and camaraderie, all those sort of things. Great intensity. That's the most important thing. Great intensity in the team, and so I feel really good about it. Going to Bethpage Black, we know it. They know what's going to be going on outside the ropes. That's the only thing they have to deal with. I think it's, the fact of giving Luke 2 captaincies, which I was pro for even when he started at Rome, because you learn so much. He's just got to top up a few little things. But, number one thing is what's going to go on outside the ropes. So it won't come as any surprise as long as the guys are prepared for that. I think we're going to do it. I honestly do. I think we'll win 15-13. Right, can I go now?
Stuck his neck out. Yeah. I just wonder, I think it was Bryson DeChambeau saying the Europeans don't know what they've got in store for them. I wonder if this becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, I'm not saying if you don't stoke it up, it's not going to be bad anyway, because you know from experience what it's like playing over there in the Ryder. But if you keep on, and the players, it's almost giving them a passport to behave badly, isn't it?
I think they're trying to build things up. It shouldn't get like that. It's still golf. I mean, hopefully people, remember that, the respect and that sort of thing. I don't know what he's really thinking. There's also a $750 price ticket. That might keep a few, thinking, well, I'd rather watch it on TV. But it's the style of the golf course as well. You go through the trees a lot. I mean, you actually got to be proper golf fans. You've got to walk with your groups. It's not like you can park yourself in one spot and see them come round 2 or 3 times. It's not like that. So you put all of that together, and then we all know what it was like. That US Open way back. It's over 20 years ago. That one. When they were going on at Sergio and his grip and all that sort of thing. So, hey, as I said, the guys know something's going to happen, so they got to have a plan of how they deal with it. And I was chatting to Luke saying that the great thing about that golf course is a tough golf course. It's the second toughest in America. It's a bit like when we went to Oak Hill, on a successful one, 95, when we won away. So, hey, you've got to be able to deal with that and then switch on 100% what you've got to do with your shot and what have you. And I would have thought that would keep you focused.
Yeah, I was delighted for Tommy Fleetwood getting over the line on the tour, especially as because the team is full of experience, isn't it? So it's full of winners. Lowry not having the greatest season, but as majors in his back pocket, and now Fleetwood's got over the line. John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, full of winners, full of experience. Yeah, they won't be scared of that sort of atmosphere. If anything, it's good to face that.
No, it's really that's my number. I think I've got 2 main points. obviously Scotty Scheffler's world number one is pretty incredible. But when you look at all the other names, I believe that the other guys are not going to be scared. And America is still, it's no obvious pairings, you know, that we've always been good at in Europe. Obviously, we've had famous ones, Sebi and Olazabal, you know, and then Woozy and I did our bit, and Sandy and Langer did their bit, and Monty did, it was all part of that. So we had, you know, three really solid pairings, and America just doesn't seem to have had that for obviously quite a while. Nothing, I mean, even good old Arnold Palmer and I think Gardner Dickinson are still up there on their stats as one of the best pairings. That's from the 60s. So, you know, I wouldn't be scared to go and play anybody. Sure, they can play great on the day. Yes, you've got to be prepared for that. You know, all that talk. But if your opponents go out in 29, you better blooming react. But I don't think it will be that, as I said, that style of golf course. It could be a big brute.
Scheffler's Ryder Cup record isn't great. It's 2-2 and 3, 2 wins, 2 losses, 3 halves.
Yeah, well,
so it's not that great.
Him and, to be fair, and Rory on our team, you know, are target guys.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody can even just get a half of Scheffler against Harper, it's deemed a victory. It's a bit like when in Paris, Rahm played. He was kind of rookie. Rahm played Tiger in the singles, and I said Rahm will win, and they're like, "Well, Tiger's just won last week." I said, "No, you don't. That is such a target. Take Tiger down."
Sure.
And it's a huge boost for the team as well. Yeah. So it's you know, all of that, put all that together. I honestly think the fact we are a strong team, very strong. I'm sure we got a couple of guys who, you know, Victor's not quite the same. Oberg's a little quiet at the moment. Larry's a little quiet, but they're the same. They've got 4 rookies. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite a cauldron to get thrown in. So, yeah, I genuinely feel I chatted to Luke, as I said, you know, that's the next great feeling. Obviously, well, I've been on Ryder Cup teams winning at home.
Sure.
But the 2 best memories or achievements is obviously 87 when we were the first ones to win at Muirfield Village, and then obviously we did it again at 95 when we came back from behind and that sort of thing. So it's that makes it even more. And I know I know there'll be a few in the team thinking, okay, guys, let's take this up a notch. Let's win away and make it really memorable.
I'm going to get told off for running over, but just very quickly, Nick, you've captained the team, you've played in Ryder Cups. I take it you thought Keegan Bradley made the right call by not picking himself last week.
Yeah, you couldn't do both. You know, you can't give 100% to both. There's just too much going on. You know, that was. He must be gutty because he actually technically was right there. He could have. You know, he's like the 11th man, could have picked him. So yeah, I know how much it meant to him. So that was a tough call, but he's a good guy. No, simple as that. That was the right decision. He wants to captain it, and you've got. There's so much going on that week. As I said, you can't, and you need 100%. You got to 100% on both jobs. You can't do both.
Yeah.
No.
Well, pleasure talking to you, Nick. Enjoy your days. The weather's looking nice out the window in the background, so enjoy your day. Thanks.
We're gonna be in the 80s today. It's lovely. It's gorgeous.
Nice.
Very nice.
Cheers,
putting
Nick.
Putting umbrellas up for the cows. Keep them cool.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, thank you, Nick. That's
all right. Take care.
So Nick Faldo, I think, lives in Montana, in a lovely part, like kind of Yellowstone country. If you watch the show, it's a beautiful part of the world. But yeah, nice one. So it's only around the corner. It's not long now.
They should let the captains play each other as a golden point.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good?
That's what they should do on the Sunday. The captains play on the Sunday.
If it comes down to it, rather than retaining it if you draw.
Yeah, the captains have to go out.
Captains have to go out cold.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, they were pretty decent golfers, although I think probably Keegan Bradley might nick.
I think he'd win that. Yeah.
Still to come, LeBron James has got an outside interest in sport. He's not the only one. He's in a league with Rafa Nadal, Didier Drogba and Tom Brady, amongst others. We'll find out more about that in the next hour. And we'll chat to the world toe wrestling champion. That's all to come.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Score a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Will Hobbs with your sports headlines. Let's head straight to Headingley, where John Norman is watching England's first ODI against South Africa for talkSPORT.
England 77 for 2, asked about first, losing Duckett inside the first 2 overs. He was caught behind for 5. Root disappointing his home crowd. He was caught brilliantly by Rickleton at the second attempt for 14. But Harry Brook 12 not out, and Jamie Smith at the top of the order 41. England 12 overs in, 77 for 2.
Fast bowler Sonny Baker's also on debut. Elsewhere, Roy Hodgson's told us he's really feeling for Mark Guehi after he didn't get his Merseyside move. But former Palace chairman Simon Jordan says Liverpool could well be back for the centre-back in January, and Guehi's stock is only going to rise. Sorry about that. Well, today, Gigi Donnarumma's joined Man City for £26 million on a 5-year contract. All the latest on that is on talksport.com. And Grimsby Town have been fined £20,000 for fielding an ineligible player in their Carabao Cup win over Manchester United. Here is Jim White.
Apparently, Grimsby submitted the registration of Clark Odur at 1 minute past midnight on the day before the game, after the 12 midnight deadline.
Grimsby self-reported the issue. Half the fine has been suspended till the end of the season. There's more on that story on talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Vladimir Putin has dismissed claims Moscow could attack Europe if it was successful in Ukraine, and the pound's taken a tumble after long-term government borrowing costs hit a 27-year high. More from the news team at 2:30.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With our wide range of services on offer, including tyres, MOTs, servicing and brakes, you can drive away happy every time.
Rain moving eastwards across southern counties of England and Wales. Elsewhere, a mixture of sunny spells and scattered showers. Lighter winds and temperatures around average for this time of year.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee. Charlie Baker with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Later on in this hour, Finn Forster joins us. Remember the name, as Clive Tilsley once said about Wayne Rooney. In this case, for a different reason. He's not playing up front for Everton.
He might surprise us today, Paul. You never know.
He's a Borough fan. He's been opening up the Stereophonics on their tour, and he's going to be doing some of their stadium stuff as well. So they're big fans, clearly. He's on the way up.
He's on the way up, Paul. He's on the way up.
Shall we talk a bit about?
You played the H&J show twice.
Yeah, that's
once
it.
On the way up.
Once, yeah. And we are going to talk a bit of Borough with him. Made a cracking start on the rock.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good.
The world toe wrestling champion will join us.
Oh, good.
And a penny for the thoughts of James Trafford today, who's gone back to City, probably in the hope of being pushing for the number one.
Yeah.
To see Edison move on and Donnarumma come in. David Priest, goalkeeping coach, who's worked with teams of keepers, trying to keep the number 2 keeper on their toes, motivated, knowing that they can step up at.
Well, Liverpool have a similar situation.
Mamardashvili,
They've got 2 great keepers.
Exactly. So David's going to join us, and we'll talk a bit about Senna Lamans, who's joined Manchester United. Should they have gone for Emi Martinez? We'll get Dave's take on that. And the world, did I say the world toe wrestling champion? I'm clearly quite keen on that. So, Charlie, just very quickly about some of the
we've been asking if you're in a partnership that one leaves late and one leaves early. After Whistler was done with 30 seconds to go.
30 seconds before the window closed,
Callie's been in touch. Me and my partner were on holiday in Sri Lanka. We checked out and waited for our taxi to the airport, only to be told after 2 hours of waiting, we were a day early. A walk of shame back to the room they had there.
Wow.
A day early for the flight.
Oh, that's a corker, isn't it? Imagine the domestic that kicked off after that. That's
you wouldn't enjoy going back, could you? Back on holiday. Oh, we've left this.
So if you find yourself, maybe you're beautifully compatible as a couple.
Yes.
But you're early and they're always late, or they're late and you're always early. You're the one who gets to the airport.
Well, I'm always early. It drives my wife
You're
mad.
Mr.
We
Early.
were once 6 hours early for a flight coming back from Portugal, and I said, "Oh, we'll go around Faro for the day." I mean, we had about an hour around Faro, and we went, "Yeah, that's probably enough."
Yeah.
Then I got food poisoning from a burger I ate in Faro, and that spoiled the rest of the afternoon. And quite quickly after that, Paul.
Let me give you a little tip, shall I?
Yeah, go on.
If you're going to Rome and you go back to Rome Airport, I found myself doing that the other day with a few hours to spare from checking out to flight.
Yeah.
Fiumicino, where the airport is, right? 10 minutes from the airport is a beach and a lovely beach stretch.
Look at that.
So if you're going back to Rome and you fancy a nice bit of seafood on the beach, 10 minutes from the airport, if you've got a high car, whatever, you just want to get a cab. Enjoy.
Lovely stuff. What a
you
nice
can have
thing,
that for
Paul.
free.
That's nice.
Anyway,
Paul's holiday tips. I like it.
Well, no,
Holidaying with Hawksbee.
It shocked me. I thought, what are we going to do for 4 hours? We had a lovely meal. It was cracking.
afternoon. Best day of the holiday.
Very
Going
nice.
home.
It was lovely. Anyway, let me run some names past you. Will Smith, Tom Brady, Rafa Nadal, Didier Drogba, Virat Kohli, and LeBron James.
Okay, yeah.
Why are they all connected? They're involved in E1. This is e-powerboat racing.
Oh, very nice.
I was watching some stuff. It's fantastic. I was watching some footage a little bit earlier on of LeBron's team in action. And
I mean, electric and water, not natural bedfellows, Paul. But
no.
Look,
Well, I'm sure we're going to find out a little bit more now. It's the Alula team, and John Marlo is the team principal of LeBron's team. He joins us now. Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hi, Charlie. How are you both? Good to
We're good, John. We're good. I'd say I didn't know a great deal about E1, but I found the footage very, very exciting. And obviously, all these big name sports people getting involved. Fantastic for the sport.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to have these names involved. Obviously, LeBron's our owner and one of the best basketball players ever, if not the best. But the grid is packed with some of the best and brightest from across the world of sport.
I mean, I'm tempted as he owns a team, he's thinking, I wouldn't mind having a go myself. But I'm sure the Lakers wouldn't be massively pleased about that.
No, perhaps not. And we had him at Monaco for our last race, and he was able to get in the boat or have a look in the boat. But whether he's perhaps a tiny bit too tall for it, we're not quite sure.
Yeah. They're piloted, these, aren't they? I was seeing. I was looking at the team. So how does it work? Do you just have one driver and one backup pilot, should I say, rather than driver?
So we have a male and a female pilot, and that's across all the different teams within the series.
Right.
And throughout the race weekend, essentially we'll be mixing and matching. So we'll kind of do different group stages, and Katie, who's our female pilot, and Rusty, who's our male pilot, will kind of take turns throughout the different sessions throughout the weekend.
Okay.
And that's how we kind of do it. And it all builds up to a final, which is normally on a Saturday afternoon, where they do one of them will take a final one, and one will take final two, hopefully leading towards a bit of silverware at the end.
I looked at some of Katie's back because she was talking about it in one of the promo videos for the team, and she's come from motorsport by the look of it, hasn't she?
Yes. So Katie's background is rallying and rallycross.
Yeah.
Her whole family's been involved in that for a long time. So I think she grew up driving Peugeots around a farmyard, getting the hang of driving on gravel.
How do you make that transition? I mean, on the face of it, obviously a sort of love of speed helps, but still, it feels like a very different discipline. That
I think we thought so initially as well, and then when we started talking to Katie, actually, water and gravel, for example, they're pretty loose surfaces.
Okay.
So actually, there's a kind of fingertip kind of nature to it that we see a big translation actually from those kind of motorsports into boat racing. That's been pretty successful. Katie's been fantastic this year for us.
The negative that's often thrown at racing, car racing, is the noise. There's no noise. Well, there is a noise. It's sort of a slightly whiny noise, no engine noise. Is it similar? I mean, I suppose they're out racing out in the sea, so you can't hear a lot. Anyway, is that a similar situation?
It's kind of, they have a really distinct noise actually. So there is a bit of an electric hum, but the boats themselves are hydrofoiling boats, so they actually kind of fly out of the water. Okay. So the faster they go, the more they lift up. And actually, when you see these things come past on their wingtips, speeds with the kind of electric motors whistling. They're incredibly impressive. So I think anyone who's had the chance to see them close up will agree that they are not disappointing in any way. Close up, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say the footage I saw earlier was amazing. Where are we at with the season at the moment then, John?
So we've just finished our 5th round of the year. So we started in Jeddah, we did Doha, Dubrovnik, Lake Maggiore in Italy, and we just completed Monaco. We have got Lagos in Nigeria at the end of this month, and then we finished the season in Miami in early November. We are fighting currently for 5th place in the championship. We've got 2 points behind Team Westbrook, who are Will Smith is their team owner. So I think LeBron would be keen to get one over on Will. Yeah. That's our challenge for the next few races.
And who's leading currently? Is there a kind of celebrity owner of the top team currently?
Yes. So Team Brady for the currently leading the championship by, I think it's 1 or 2 points.
Unbelievable.
They had a big swing in Monaco. They were last year's champions as well. So those guys are doing a really good job running that. But
they've been practicing in the canals of Birmingham.
Yeah, that's right. Birmingham. Birmingham Blues fans will be claiming that as a victory for Birmingham City.
And do they turn up regularly? The team owners, are they there watching?
Yeah, definitely. So actually, at the last round in Monaco, we had, I think, 7 out of the 9 team owners were there, so it was pretty busy. It's quite weird, kind of going about your job and just casually passing Tom Brady through the paddock or Mark Anthony or whoever it might be. So but the guys are pretty invested, and LeBron's the same with us. So it's fantastic having them involved.
And what was your route into this, John? How did you become team principal of the boat team?
Yeah, so my sort of career has been quite storied. I've done a few different things. I studied engineering at university, and then actually went into different kind of career working in digital and websites and apps and things like that. But I've stayed very close with Barney, who's my co-team principal, and he went off into F1, won a couple of world championships with Mercedes and Red Bull, and actually we realised it was a good time to get back together, get involved in sort of sustainable modern motorsport, and start working with organisations like E1 to deliver these teams. So, it's been a fantastic year.
And where can we watch? I mean, I take it you can watch online, but is there a TV channel that picks up the sport?
Yes, so you can watch live on ITV4 and DAZN, and then all of the different races are streamed on YouTube as well.
Brilliant. Great. Best of luck for the rest of the season, John. Give our best to LeBron.
Will do. Thanks ever so much, gents. Cheers.
John Marlo, team principal of LeBron James.
You had a talkSPORT team, Paul.
Yeah.
It's nice, wouldn't it? Big Alan.
They may have to cut your wages if they do that. That's the thing, Charlie. I mean, it's not a cheap sport to be involved in.
No, Ali, I don't think I'll be.
I got in this boat, Ali, and I tell you what, it was supposed to go fast, but wasn't going fast. I could barely. It squeezed me in.
I said LeBron.
Yeah. Ray got in. He was fine. But Ray said, no, you're right, Al, I'm driving. Yeah. No, they wouldn't let Ray in.
There we are.
So they're never going to happen. Finn Forster joins us in the studio, musician, Middlesbrough fan, very short, the World Toe Wrestling Champion. David Priest is joining us. Fascinating new book about Sir Alf Ramsey, the man that landed the World Cup in 1966 for England. A different take on Sir Alf. Always a bit of a complex character anyway, but this is a new book that kind of looks at some of the things that motivated him in his career. There's some quite dark stories.
Okay.
But fascinating stuff. The author's going to join us later on. We'll have ChatGPT, a baker's dozen, and all manner of other stuff still to come. We're here with Toolstation, standing behind every single tradesperson of Britain. Next stop, Toolstation. There we are, there's Finn Forster and his song Stay Right Till the End. If you're watching on YouTube, would have seen nice fade. Seen his video there.
Is that for Borough fans at night, the 88th minute, trying to miss the traffic?
Yeah, it's about the transfer window deadline.
Finn's with us in the studio. Good afternoon, Finn. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
It's a great pleasure. It's going rather well at the moment, isn't it? You've been doing some festivals this season, some big gigs.
Yeah, it's been a mad year.
You were telling us the way you've been working with Stereophonics, supporting them on their European tour. And it was a really interesting way that came about, that they found out about you.
Yeah, someone very kindly stopped Kelly in the street in London and showed him a video of me performing a cover that I'd put on like this my application. It doesn't really exist, but I just put it as a little bit of content to say that my application to support Stereophonics on their upcoming tour. And then of course that's how I got on the radar, I think. And really fortunate that I've got a really good team as well, and we managed to put it together. And I managed to head out there, and they're just the nicest bunch of blokes and nicest team I've ever came across.
I mean, it must have been really good. Imagine how many people stop Kelly Jones in the street and go, "Yeah, you should see."
Yeah, they've got enough songs that people would like to cover. I
bet he was probably thinking, "Oh no,
another one
again." Yeah.
So how does that work? You go out with them and do the stadium.
Yeah.
Do you go out on your own or with a band?
I have a band, a really good band, which was class. I took the lads round, got a drummer, electric guitarist, bass player, and we kind of went and just. The drummer and the lead guitarist, we'd kind of just met a week previous because we didn't have much time to scramble things together.
To rehearse, yeah.
And then did 12 cities, so you get to know each other very fast. But they're like the nicest bunch ever, so it made it really.
So what was the stuff you listened to growing up? What would you say the influences?
Yeah, I'm a big Paolo Nutini fan. Mm-hmm. And it sounds, mad to say, but I am genuinely a massive Stereophonics fan. Been to see them probably more than any other band. So,
really?
Yeah. So
what was like that first meeting? Yeah. If you're meeting your heroes, they always say don't meet your heroes, but you have to be a rock star and confident in front of them.
You got to try and play it cool, haven't you?
Yeah. Wow.
It's one of them where you kind of meet them and then, yeah, cool, nice to meet you, mate. And then you go like away from them in a quiet room and you're like, yeah. I just met Kelly Jones.
Yeah.
I really like his songs.
Yeah.
And you've Jade from Little Mix asked you to open her BBC prom shows as well.
She's having a moment.
She's so lovely as well. She's South Shields girl.
Yeah.
Keeping it North East. I did that at the Glass House. That was amazing as well. Got a bit of coverage on national radio from that as well. And just really grateful for her to like reach out and let me jump on support.
And you're going out on your own tour.
Yes.
Yeah, aren't you?
Yeah, selling out quickly.
Is it?
Yeah, we're doing London, Manchester. Put a second night on in Manchester because the first night sold out.
That's good.
That's neat, sold out as well. Cardiff. We've got Middlesbrough, Empire, which is my hometown show, and I've just announced a Dublin show as well.
So how did it start? Someone bought you a guitar, someone bought you a ukulele, you played at school, what happened?
I'm actually quite fortunate. My entire family on my mum's side is all very musical, so they got a family band.
Right.
And we just played Irish folk covers.
Fantastic.
So my granddad's side, his dad and his dad's dad come from Cork.
Right,
so he played Irish folk music. So I was the third generation and the seventh member to join my family band.
Fantastic.
Play at folk clubs.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surrounded by just guitars and, folk festivals and folk clubs.
So just born with it in your hand, so...
Yeah, I came out the womb, actually, with a guitar in my hand. Yeah.
Tough for your mum.
It's very tough.
Lucky you weren't playing the accordion.
It was a ukulele.
Yeah.
Less said about the double bass, the better.
Or a cello.
Yeah, good old Charlie working from the blue book. So is there a bit of that Celtic influence in there as well?
100%, I think, yeah. Definitely. I think I've just been influenced by a lot of folk music from a young age, which is kind of, being in a room where you can hear a pin drop, because there's this kind of etiquette in folk music and folk clubs where it's dead silence. There's there's no phones or anything like that.
And the honesty's key, isn't it?
Yeah,
the honesty's who you are is key.
Must be weird playing to an audience that haven't all got beards.
It is. It's weird. Yeah.
Although quite hipster now, isn't it? Maybe they have all got.
What are you saying about the women of the North East?
Now you're Charlie. You're getting far too carried away with a double bass material.
Showing off now.
Yeah, you are. You're like
showing off.
Like Ian Denter says, you're like a puppy that needs popping on the nose with a newspaper. So let's have a chat about the borough.
Yeah.
And we're big fans of Rob Edwards here on the show, and glad to see it going well for him. It's got a good start, isn't it?
It's a blessing in disguise, isn't he?
Yeah,
he came in, and as a Middlesbrough fan, to be completely honest, you try not to get your hopes up too much, because there's so many ups and downs. I was very fortunate because I came in, from a young age in such quick succession. We had the European Cup final, we won the Carling Cup. And then, I remember growing up and then realising that's not what normally happens.
Yeah.
But you were started off in the glory years.
Started off in the glory years, yeah. But then we've started the season good. We've 4 wins on the bounce. Last time we did that, I ceased to exist, I think.
Right.
Not that I just appeared on Earth.
Right, yeah.
But before I was born, I think it was 94, 95. And then
so it would have been that Brian Robson era last time.
Yeah,
Janino and all that lot.
Which was the golden era.
Yeah,
And I think they say history repeats itself. But that year, I think we won the league. So
did you get down there? Did you get down there to see him at all, or?
Do you know what? I have quite a good relationship with the club in general, because I started, early days when I was playing and getting out and doing as many gigs as possible and things. Me and my acoustic guitar, I'd play in the fan zone. Then I moved and started playing in the hospitality.
Yeah, sure.
And I get myself a Palmo burger every Saturday. If anyone comes to Middlesbrough, by the way,
I've had those. That's the healthy option.
It's only about 2 million calories.
Teesside kebab, isn't it? Really, that's about sort of 1 o'clock in the morning. Really, I mean, the thing is, you often wonder if you ever think to yourself about 7 o'clock in the evening, dead sober. I'll have a palm.
The best ones. The best ones are when you can hardly stand up, carrying.
For those that don't know, just tell us what's in it.
It's
a good one.
There's breaded chicken, often butterflied and fried, and then you've got bechamel sauce.
Yeah,
and then you've just got an obscene amount of cheese.
Yeah,
and.
So you can tell it's good for you.
It's a delicacy, that's for sure.
That's right.
It should be celebrated. And then I think the thing is, people try and replicate it elsewhere. They really struggle. And then if you're from Middlesbrough, you go elsewhere and it's on the menu, and for some reason they all get seriously.
Do people do posh Palmo? Do they have places they don't do down here?
It doesn't work.
It'd
be like trying to do a posh doner kebab.
Yeah,
posh pasty, Paul. You tried to have a posh pasty.
Posh pasty.
No, thank you.
Didn't work.
Nah.
Make a pasty.
Finn, sadly we're out of time.
Brilliant,
Finn. Where can we find out more about what you're up to on your socials?
Yes, I'm on all across all social media and streaming platforms under Finn Forster, FINN or FORSTER.
Yeah.
And then there's the last few tickets now for my UK tour in November.
Brilliant. And you can go lots and lots of Finn's videos available on YouTube to go and check out. We were playing Stay Right Till the End. All the very best. Good to see you.
Thanks, Finn.
Guys, appreciate it. Again. Yeah, cheers, guys.
Finn Forster there. It's Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. We turn next in this international break to the World Toe Wrestling Champion.
Yeah, why not?
Fresh from another victory this weekend. And then we're going to talk keepers with David Priest, another man from the northeast, of course, Sunderland boy. We'll be chatting to Dave about the Manchester goalkeeping situation, both red and blue. That's all to come.
Roy Hodgson's feeling really sorry for Mark Guehi. After his move to Liverpool fell through over the lack of a replacement and pressure from Oliver Glasner, Hodgson told talkSPORT Palace should be the winners here.
He's such a good player, to have a player of that calibre and a captain and leader of that calibre still with you should be seen as advantageous, but it remains to be seen, of course, how upset he may have been by what's happened during...
But former Palace chairman Simon Jordan says Liverpool could well be back in January and Guehi's stock is only going to rise.
35 million quid. You can't buy a top centre half for 35 million quid. And so the fact he's going to be free next year, I mean, he's going to be able to feed this generation, the generation after that, and the generation after that, and the opportunity is going to arrive in his salary as a result of there being no transfer fee.
Elsewhere, Gianluigi Donnarumma's now joined Man City for £26 million on a 5-year contract. Ederson's thanked Pep for 8 beautiful years. He's off to Fenerbahce. Plus, Manuel Akanji's joining Inter on a season-long loan. And Fulham have signed Jonah Kusi-Asari on loan from Bayern Munich. All the latest transfer news is at talksport.com. And former St Mirren captain and manager Jimmy Bone has died aged 75. He was St Mirren assistant when they won the Scottish Cup in 1987. Bone also played up front for Partick Thistle, Norwich City, Sheffield United and Celtic.
Our biggest competition today is now live, and we're giving you the chance to win Oasis tickets, plus a whopping £25,000. Two lucky winners, not one but two, will win a pair of Oasis tickets when they return to Wembley on the 27th of September.
But that's not all. So you got to do it like Brian Bowes, haven't you? Alongside the tickets, we're giving you the chance to win a whopping 25 grand. For all the details on how to enter this amazing competition, listen up right now.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word Oasis to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 19th of September at 9 a.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
England making pretty hard work of the game against South Africa, the one there at Headingley. They are currently 116 for 5.
Looks quite bright, Paul. I thought it might be a bit dim, but it's okay. You know, I don't know what the par score is against South Africa. Pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think England will be expected to do better than this, but John Norman will tell you more in the sports bulletin at 3. We'll just keep an eye on that for you. Now, it's international break. And this is, but having said that, that's never stopped us.
Don't qualify it.
That's never stopped us before, because I would talk about this topic and this event, whether it's the international break or not, because it's the World Toe Wrestling Championships, a bona fide sport that deserves coverage here on talkSPORT. The World Toe Wrestling Championships have taken place at the Bentley Brook Inn in Fenny Bentley at the weekend. There's quite a considerable prize pot, and the defending 3-time world champion Ben Woodruff went into it as a marked man. But he's done it again.
He's done it again. He's at it again, as they say.
He's done it again. He's the Tiger Woods of toe wrestling. He joins us now. Good afternoon, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Hope chaps, you all right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Well, many congratulations. It's to keep going back and defending the title takes some doing.
Yeah, it was, especially this year, it was a difficult one because I went up against the third natural strongman in the UK.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah. When we first saw it, we thought it said Alan Nasty Rash, but it's Alan Nasty Nash. That's his name.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
You don't want a nasty rash in toe wrestling.
No, you don't. So, what's the secret, Ben? Why are you so good at it? What makes a good toe wrestler for those looking to get involved in the sport?
Well, I mean, I always say pain's temporary, being a champion's for a lifetime. So I see a lot of it's mindset, mind over matter for me. A lot of things, but I do little odd bits as well. I do a lot of strengthening exercises on my toes, and I've been using a special shoe, which is like a Vibram shoe. I think they've really helped me this year. It's like barefoot, basically essential barefoot walking. So
Are they the shoes with toes?
They look like a sort of cartoon foot.
I'm not going to lie, they give me the slight ick though.
Yeah, they take some putting on, but once they're on, you're right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, good.
I understand there was some collateral damage. Didn't you break your opponent's toe? Is that right?
Yeah. So in the last round, snapped it in half. So,
wow. This little piggy does not go to market. Snap.
This little piggy goes to casualty, I think. Is that an occupational? Does that happen much? You get broken toes in the event?
Yeah, so like any sport, it comes with its hazards. And like last year, I broke my toe. And this year I've done some toe breaking, so we'll take that.
Yeah,
the toe breaker. Yeah, the golden toes. Is that your nickname? Do you have a nickname?
Yeah, I'm Total Destruction.
Total, of course you are.
How did you get into it, Ben? What was your route into the sport?
So it all roots back to beer, to be honest with you.
Most things do, really.
The beer festival happened up at the Bentley Brook when I was a kid, and I remember seeing it. I thought, this is brilliant, quintessential England at its best, really. And then the rest is history. I've been doing it sort of on and off for 25 years, and this is my 4th title in a row, so we'll take that.
And is it like arm? What are the rules?
It is.
It's like arm wrestling. You have to get the sort of.
You have to push the other person's toe, their foot, to one side like you would their arm.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like your feet are taped up. Is that right, Ben? You're taped together.
Yeah, so you do get what you call a breakaway quite a lot, and that's when your toes sort of slide out.
Yeah.
It's just like arm wrestling, same setup, just with your feet, and we perform it on a toadium. The break when the breakaways happen, you strap up, and that's it. And it's
And do you have anyone following you in your following in your footsteps? I didn't actually mean that one.
Okay,
I was building up to big shoes to fill. That's what I was leading up to. But do you have anyone?
Are there Luke?
Is there a youth team?
Are there any Luke Littlers in the world of toe wrestling coming through? Kids.
I think that's the great thing about this sport is that you can be coming in for a quick pint and we'll walk out a champion. There's no sort of like demographic to anybody. You don't have to be brilliant at it. You could just realise you're brilliant at it that day. And I think that's the great thing about this sport is that you can like walk in for a pint and walk out a champion.
I'm very aware that everybody's shouting at their radio Luke Little Toe at the moment. So just don't save yourself 50p. Don't send it in. And so you'll be back. You'll be back next. You'll be back next year to defend the title, Ben. I take it. No plans to retire. Why should you?
No plans to retire. No, we're going for 5th in a row.
Yeah. And so what's the prize money? It's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was £10,000 prize money.
Wow.
£5,000 for the females, £5,000 for the males. So.
Nice. Sponsored by MySill, is it, or Scholl?
And do you ever encounter a bit of athlete's foot? You ever had to say no,
thank you.
I think you're fine. We're not competing today. Or do everybody have to maintain their feet properly? I take it, do they? Have we lost Ben?
I couldn't hear the question.
Ben, can you still hear us?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just saying. Do you have to? Everybody has to look after their toes. You don't want extra long, sharpened toenails. There's no skullduggery that goes on, is there?
No, and definitely no verrucas, foot funguses, and no athlete's foot.
No, that's good. I mean, just some of the basic prerequisites if you're going to do it. Yeah. Well, Ben, congratulations. You should tell us who won the women's tournament.
Oh yeah.
It was Emily Beach.
Emily Beach. Well done to Emily.
Well done, Emily.
And good to talk to you, Ben. All the best. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben Woodruff there, the world toe wrestling champion. If you're looking to get involved, it's an annual event, the Bentley Brook.
Now I know there's $5,000 on the end of it, Paul. Am I in
five suddenly? It's the sort of thing that I could see.
I will
you
say
doing.
that's quite a lot more than I've got. I've got very wide feet, but short feet. But I don't think I'm very good at it.
Short, wide feet.
I get all sorts of trouble with my big toe as well, Paul.
Do you
As you know,
really?
I moan about it all the time.
That's the gout, is it?
It's not gout, Paul.
That's the gout.
It's not gout. Hallux.
All those Portland cigars.
Hallux limitus is Paul.
Yeah. What are you?
I've told you about my frozen slippers.
I've seen Gladiator as well. Don't stop showing off.
Frozen. I've told you about my frozen slippers. We should have.
Oh yeah.
I should have told him about the frozen slippers.
Yeah. Charlie puts his slippers in the
freezer.
But he'll be doing that in about 40 years' time, I'm sure. Anyway, we returned from toe wrestling to
Mark Vivian Toe from Andy. Thank you. Your toe footballers.
Do we really want your
why
toe?
Not? Come on, why not, Paul?
Mark Veruca. We're going to get loads of those.
It's fun, isn't it? Now
it's
finally. The show is fun.
I think we've
done them.
Now that's all I can think of now. Stop it, Charlie. Who sent that in?
That was Andy.
Stop it, Andy.
I don't know if it was our Andy or
it could
Mark
be
Vivian Toe. We'll get loads now.
Yeah, well, Mark.
Loads of toe. We don't need any Tonys. Don't need any Tonys.
No Tonys.
Tony Cotty. You don't need that.
Tony Cass. Don't need any of them. I don't own any of them. TalkSport.com, text 8. It's not going to stop you, so anyway. TalkSport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J 03717 223344. Both Manchester clubs made big calls in the goalkeeping position yesterday, bringing in new keepers. In James Trafford's situation, where he looked like he was shaping up to be the new number one, finds himself behind Gianluigi Donnarumma, one of the greats. But is he right for City? And what's it like working with a squad of keepers as a coach and keeping everybody motivated when it looks like their game time could be quite restricted and they've been usurped? David Priest is your man, former goalkeeper turned coach. He'll join us in a few moments' time. We're here with Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Tool Station. Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. While we were chatting to the world toe wrestling champion Ben Woodruff, England have massively collapsed in the cricket. First Will Jacks went, and then Josh Butler and Jofra went in consecutive balls. Vian Mulder's done for both of them. Adil Rashid saw off the hat-trick ball. But England are currently 121 for 8 at Headingley in this one day against South Africa. So, blimey. Anyway, more details in the bulletin at 3 with John Norman, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. So, yesterday in Manchester, 2 new goalkeepers arrived. Senna Lamans, 23 years old. They took that option.
Can't say I've ever heard of him, Paul, but then you won't be surprised at that. I have heard of Donnarumma.
I'd looked at some of his numbers, and you can understand why Manchester United have done that business. And, of course, they decided to go down that route rather than the more experienced, seasoned Emi Martinez. And, as you say, Gianluigi Donnarumma has come in to Manchester City. And James Trafford, who'd been starting the game because Ederson's gone off to Turkey, he probably thought he was in the box seat.
You think?
But not so. So how'd you pick up a keeper in that environment when you're the goalkeeping coach? David Priest, former keeper turned coach, joins us now. Hi, David.
David.
Afternoon, gents.
Let's start with the City situation. I mean, we were talking to Mickey Gray earlier on, and he made the point that maybe, it was a sort of buyback from Trafford, and he probably knew that he would be the number 2 or battling out with Ederson. We don't know what conversations were had between him and Pep and the management there. But I think when you bring in someone like Donnarumma, he probably does know that he's number 2 now.
Yeah, I think the situation for him doesn't really change. I think should Ederson have stayed, the battle would have been a lot closer simply because they're similar types of goalkeepers. James Trafford's excellent with his feet, perhaps not at the same level as Ederson is anyone, no, they're not. But when it comes to Donnarumma coming in now, you're always going to have that competition. And for Manchester City to have those 2 different types of goalkeepers, it's an interesting thing for Pep to have, because he can go into games with different approaches and knowing that he's got 2 different solutions to any problems that come their way.
They're going to miss Ederson's distribution because, he got a fair few assists over the years. And when he could drill a ball and spot a run, that was something he was incredibly strong at, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And he's a bit of a unicorn in that respect because he was so good. But I think a lot of the criticism that's come Donnarumma's way now, and the kind of negative opinion about him joining Manchester City, he's thinking that he's not a Pep Guardiola type of goalkeeper. It's probably a little bit too far for me, simply because, 1, he's not that bad with his feet. He's not as bad as some are suggesting. And 2, because Ederson's been so good and he's moved the needle in respect of what we think of a Manchester City goalkeeper. I think that there's a bit of a myth around the goalkeeper for a Pep team being a creator. Just because he was so good and capable of incredible passes, it doesn't actually mean that in Pep's system that you actually need to be a creator. You just have to be a wheel in the system where you just want part of that passing process. And as long as you can start off that passing process, and it doesn't have to be an incredible line-breaking pass or something that's putting a player in over the top. You just have to be that sort of one part in the process. And in that build-up process, that first part, it's very important, the most important part, but also to get out of that really should be simple because of the options that are given to him as well. So I don't foresee him being a huge problem and a huge shift in the way that they're going to have to play.
Yeah, it's quite a unique situation for keepers, isn't it? Because obviously they have to train together. And they need to almost train each other a lot of the time, I'm assuming, David, unless that doesn't go on anymore. But there's one position to fight for.
Yeah, of course. And I think that will always be the case. And it doesn't matter, whether they're in the eyes of the coach or the eyes of everyone, that whether it's a close race or there's a defined number 1, that competition's always got to be there, because as a coach, you want 3 goalkeepers pushing each other. And if the 2 and second and third goalkeepers are performing really well, what you want is they're pushing the first one into a better performance, and everyone wins then. And as frustrating as it can be for a number 2 and certainly a number 3 who's not even in the squad, that's the name of the game. That's the way that it is. As a goalkeeper, that's the position you're in, the position that's where there is only one. So you get used to that, and as long as you keep that competition and you don't lose that motivation to think that you can become number 1, then it's a healthy environment, really.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of clubs now, really good backups. There was a time years ago when your main goalkeeper went out, you think, oh, God, you know, you're going to be relying on a youth keeper or very much a second string. But you look now at a lot of the clubs, in City included, Kepa at Arsenal is a really good backup. I'm quite rate Kinski, our young keeper at Spurs as well.
Liverpool seemed to find a balance with it, though, didn't they, Paul?
But Mamardashvili, I mean, again, he's been willing to come in and effectively be a number 2, if you like, but, you know, an international, a seasoned keeper. But that's the way it's working now, Dave. You need 2 good keepers, and the backup keeper's got to be good enough just to step in, and you don't really see the join.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes against the grain of all the opinion. We'll go back to the Arsenal situation last year where people saying you can't have 2 number 1s because of the insecurity over the position and nobody knows who's playing well. Whoever's performing the best will play. So it probably goes against that. And not only with the second choice goalkeepers, now, you know, third and fourth choice goalkeepers, people are making a career out of that. Yeah. You know, it is actually a part of the squad, and it's, you know, they mightn't see much action on a match day, but they play a massive part of what happens on the pitch because you do need those numbers.
Are you surprised that Manchester United didn't go down the Emi Martinez route and went for the young Senna Lamans? I don't know how much you know about him. I mean, I've looked at his numbers and they're pretty impressive, but he's only 23 and he's only been playing, with respect, in the Belgian league.
Yeah, and listen, there's no getting away from it. It's a totally different level coming at the Premier League and not having experienced it before. And you're right, his numbers are great, and from what I've seen as well, that he's really proactive, a little bit too active for my liking, simply because I just prefer my goalkeepers to be a little bit more calm. I have a more calming influence where he's been able to afford it in the Belgian league. He's been able to afford it to be able to come for a lot more crosses, to be a bit more active. And like I said, I'd just rather, you know, he'd be a little bit more calm, a little bit more of a steadying influence. But it was probably a chance for Manchester United to have the Edwin van der Sar moment, isn't it? If they can go for Emi Martinez, you know, there's been a lot of insecurity around the goalkeeping situation since the decline of David De Gea. And I think it was a chance for them just to steady the ship and just go for something that they know would be a dead cert winner. And I can only imagine that there's financial implications for the reasons why he didn't come in. And obviously, Lamans is going to be the theme as an asset where, you know, if things go well, that he can be there for a long time.
Finally, David, Andy was sitting alongside me yesterday when we were talking about Manchester United goalkeeping situation, said that he felt maybe looking at Martinez recently, his star was waning a little bit. He wasn't quite the keeper that he had been in recent years. Have you noticed that at all?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that certainly the last 6 to 8 months, and that people putting clips of goals he's conceded where they think that he should have done better, and I don't see it really. I mean, he might think himself that now that he's been at Villa a few years, he's done all he can do at Villa, and he needs that new challenge. Perhaps that's all he needs, and that's why he's been so desperate to move away, not just to Manchester United. And there was talk of him moving to Bayern Munich a little while ago after his World Cup win. So he probably just needs that for his own motivation, just a fresh start. And it is the age. It could be his last big move, really, couldn't it?
I mean, there are windows still open, so we'll see what happens, because he seemed to be saying goodbye the other day, didn't he, the Villa fans? So, David, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
David.
Cheers, gents.
It's Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. A lot more football chat, of course, at 4 when Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent are here last. When they left yesterday at 6:30, the window was very much open, and there was a lot of deals still to be done. So they'll be pouring over that and all the other big stories of the day from 4 o'clock today. Now, the other big story you're going to be hearing about shortly, Ruben Loftus-Cheek called into the England squad for Adam Wharton.
Great for him.
7 years since he was last involved.
A real shame for Wharton. I think Wharton's a brilliant player and could be an answer in England's midfield. But good for Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
New managers come in, they keep an eye on what's going on. He's at Milan these days, isn't he? But I'm sure we'll be building up to England's games with Faker others from tomorrow, and we'll be finding out from Thomas Tuchel about that decision. We've got H&B versus ChatGPT to come up very shortly. One of us outperformed the internet, outperformed AI when it came to predicting football matches last week. Was it me? Was it Charlie? You'll find out shortly. And we'll be chatting to a very interesting new book about Sir Alf Ramsey, the England manager that won the World Cup in 1966. Maybe a hidden side, the unseen Sir Alf. We're going to be discussing quite a troubling story that maybe motivated him in his football career. We'll tell you more about that in the next hour.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
3 minutes past 3. Good afternoon. Let's start at Headingley. And England have started their ODI series against South Africa in disastrous fashion, batting first. An hour or so ago, Jamie Smith looked in sparkling form on 54. His wicket then opened the floodgates and a tsunami followed. talkSPORT's John Norman is watching. We haven't got John, so England are all out for a very, very low total. We'll have him on very shortly, I'm sure. Sticking with the cricket, with the Ashes less than 12 weeks away, Aussie captain Pat Cummins has a back injury. Cricket Australia said they're confident Cummins will be fit for the first test in Perth. Elsewhere, Roy Hodgson's feeling really sorry for Mark Guehi, who we understand is not a happy bunny following the late collapse of his move to Liverpool. Hodgson told talkSPORT Palace should be the winners of this story.
To have a player of that calibre and a captain and leader of that calibre still with you should be seen as advantageous, but it remains to be seen, of course, how upset he may have been by what's happened.
Elsewhere, Victor Gyökeres has defended his Swedish teammate Isak's behaviour that forced through his move to Liverpool. He says clubs are always entitled to freeze out players, so why not the other way round? Simon Jordan, however, says Newcastle are entitled to feel aggrieved by the player, but also they should be angry at themselves.
They were called liars and disingenuous by a player. They were weak and didn't fill the vacuum, and they allowed this to get out of hand. and they could have controlled this narrative much better and controlled the player's mind much better. And maybe the player would still have been a bit difficult, a bit tricky, but it wouldn't have been this running soap opera with he said, she said. They would have nipped it in the bud.
And Thomas Tuchel has added Ruben Loftus-Cheek to his England squad for the first time in 8 years. Jarell Quansah has also been added. There's more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Vladimir Putin has dismissed claims Moscow could attack Europe if it was successful in Ukraine. And Father Ted writer Graham Linehan has been arrested at Heathrow Airport in connection with social media posts. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Get a free vehicle safety check at all of our 600 centres nationwide to keep you safe on the road. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Rain moving eastwards across southern counties of England and Wales. Elsewhere, a mixture of sunny spells and scattered showers, lighter winds, temperatures for this time of year around average.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. We're going to be chatting to the ECB's Richard Thompson a little bit later on. All part of a tie-up we have with the Alzheimer Society.
Great.
Some exciting things going on between talkSPORT and the Alzheimer Society we'll tell you about. And when Richard joins us, we'll have a Paddy's Pick. We've got ChatGPT coming up. And Grant Bagey's going to join us. He is the author of a new book, The Unseen, Sir Alf Ramsey. Interesting stuff.
Some toe footballers, Paul, is that what you wanted?
Before that, though, I think we're going to we've managed to get a line through
good.
John at Headingley. John Norman has watched England all out quite spectacularly, 131. John, we haven't seen South Africa bat on it, but I'm guessing it's more than an 131 run wicket.
Yeah, you'd think so. England 82 for 3 at one point. Harry Brook will look back, as many of these England batters, with regret at his dismissal, run out for just 12. But England just gave it away time and time again. South Africa bowled well. They put the ball in the right areas. The fielding, flawless. But only one batter went past 20. Jamie Smith, top scoring with 54. Even he will look back at his dismissal and feel he could have done better. So it's been as bad as it can get, really, for England. They were 82 for 2 at one stage. They've been bowled out for 131.
Thank you, John. Back to John a little bit later.
Tired, Paul. Long season at the end of the season, towards the end of the season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Log cricket.
Yeah, but I mean, you know. Anyway, Charlie, you want some toe?
Well,
we spoke to the World Toe Wrestling.
People have sent them in, Paul, so we should read some out.
Okay,
Pedro Neto Tarsal.
That's quite nice,
Quite nice. Alan Stubbs, I like that one.
That's good, yeah.
It's from Lenny in Leeds.
Well,
Thank you,
Lenny,
Lenny. Nail Quinn.
Okay, yeah. That's a bit Route 1.
Swansea defender Joshua Pinky.
Oh, that's not bad, yeah.
Jermaine Ditto. Quite like that.
Yeah, okay. Is that it?
Well, that's not very good, that one. Scott Minto. There we are. Well,
Scott Minto.
Oh, Sandro Tonelli.
Okay, that's
from Chris. Chris Ross. Thank you, Chris. Well done.
We've done this before.
Yeah, okay, we'll leave it.
More than once.
It wasn't great.
Probably
Paul.
last year.
Let's do something very serious and sensible and excellent.
Yeah, that's right. It's about time we put our sensible hats on and brought you H&B versus ChatGPT.
H&B versus ChatGPT.
Yes, time for H&B versus ChatGPT. That point of the show, where we try and out-predict football-wise and perform better than AI.
The whole of the internet. AI is forever learning from itself.
Yeah, AI knows everything.
It does.
It is all seeing, all doing. But when it comes to football predictions, now and again, the human race can outsmart
Exactly, still outsmarting it at all times. Is Chat there? I don't know if Chat is there.
I don't know, Chat. How are you getting on, Chat?
I'm going to Hampton and Richmond tonight.
Oh, good. Yeah, I am as well, chat. That's nice.
I love the Beavers.
He loves the
Okay,
Beavers.
marvellous. That's their nickname, we should point out.
Yeah, they are.
That's
the
right,
Beaver,
yeah. So,
I love the Beavers.
we get the idea.
We get
I know you're very pleased with yourself this time of day, but we get the idea with that, chat. Thank you very much. That'll do.
There we are. Anything else?
So, Hampton and Richmond.
Hampton and Richmond tonight, be Torquay United.
Yeah,
trying to come back from our away defeat on Saturday. But we go again tonight, Paul, at the Beavery.
I love the Beavers.
Yes, thank you. Very nice.
You love the Beavers. So, how you been getting on, chat? What's life been like for you this week?
I want to fight the fixture computer.
Oh, okay.
In the wrestling, in the
that
Misfits boxing.
Misfits boxing wants to fight the fixture computer.
Very slow today.
Yeah, he does.
No, you have heard enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's been a bit cryptic today, isn't he?
Very angry, very slow.
If you're
have heard enough.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
If you're wondering why it sounds like that, ChatGPT. If you've got ChatGPT and you ask it to speak to you, it's got a beautiful, rich kind of
very good voice,
like a continuity announcer. But we haven't got that kind of money, so we've got a slightly shonky speak and spell machine from the 80s. But all the predictions you're about to hear are from ChatGPT.
They are indeed, yeah, they are, yeah.
Now, last week, our star performer with 6 points.
Yeah, who won that week, Paul? Who won last week?
Charlie Baker.
Charlie Baker, 6 points.
You said Grimsby would beat Manchester United.
I did 2-1, I said, which is right till the 90th minute.
Yes.
Harry Maguire.
I know.
But 6 points last week, Paul, and you got 4, and Chat was bottom of the league with 2 points, which means I win August, so I'm 1-0 up.
Yeah,
it's a monthly competition.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Thanks so much, Paul. I'm really excited about it. How do you feel about it, Chat?
I miss Ange.
Oh, okay. I miss Ange. Yeah, he's always having a bit of a pop at us.
I love the Beavers.
Okay, yeah. Well, is that all he's going to say today?
I thought he had more to give us.
I thought he had loads more to give us.
Promises have been broken, boys. I won't forget this.
Promises have been broken, boys.
Promises have been broken. Sounds like Johan Visser. And what's happened?
I've made my exit video.
Oh no, he's made his exit video. And why? What's happened? Where were you going?
Where were you going?
I love the Beavers.
Yeah. Apparently, he was off to Chris Evans.
Oh, he was off to was he?
On Virgin.
Yeah, I bet he was, yeah.
And he lined it all up.
Imagine being that sort of person, like a half and half scarf.
Yeah, did his
talkSPORT and Virgin. Terrible.
Did his exit video and everything.
Embarrassing for you.
He says
I'm going to Hampton and Richmond
tonight.
Right.
Have you had a drink, Chat?
You're on a loop, Chat.
Anyway, let's get on. Let's look at the games. England versus Andorra, Villa Park, the World Cup qualifier this weekend. Charlie, you lead us off as your king of the hill.
England v Andorra should be 8-0 England, but the way that this England team...
You're not having him?
I'm not having him, Paul.
No.
I think it's an absolute disaster.
Oh, dear.
And this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity with a brilliant squad to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think we've got completely the wrong person in charge.
Oh, thanks, mate.
I think we'll beat Andorra 3-0.
OK, 3-0, says Charlie. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be 8. I tell you, I think we might do all right. We might get a few. I'm going 5-0 England.
Okay, 5.
And Chat last because you were the lowest,
the league, Chat.
lowest performer, Chat, last week. So what say you?
I predict a 2-0 win for England.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
No information this
really
week.
Is.
Sounds a bit drunk this week, Chat.
Yeah,
he's
slightly phoning
in
in
at the London Bridge Hotel.
I love the
Beavers.
Okay, that's on talkSPORT, of course. On talkSPORT 2 exclusive, we have got Doncaster
versus ChatGPT.
Oh, okay, yeah. Blimey, he really has been on the AL.
Really has. I think we normally lose the music a little bit as well, don't we? I'm not sure what's... I don't know what's going on.
He's been on the 3-in-1.
Doncaster Rovers v Bradford City
Saturday,
in League One.
talkSPORT 2
it's a talkSPORT 2 exclusive. I mean, I've not paid attention, if I'm honest, to how either team is getting on. But I've got to go on vibes anyway. I'm not on facts.
Yeah.
It feels like a derby, a bit of a sort of a derby, isn't it? I'm going to go... Not really a derby, is it? No. Nowhere near each other.
Doncaster.
Nowhere near each other. Bradford. It's Bradford City. Bradford City v Doncaster.
Bradford City.
Yeah, Bradford City v Doncaster.
Yeah.
I'm going to go a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. I'm going to go for Donny to win. They've got a couple of Tottenham youngsters there at the moment.
Okay, that's nice.
2-2 draw. I'm going 2-1 Donny.
Okay.
Chat, what say
GPT.
you?
I think a 2-1 win to Doncaster up the Rovers.
Up the Rovers. Very nice.
very much.
Nice.
Okay.
Rovers.
Yeah, okay. Didn't know you were such a Rovers fan.
The
There we are.
Rovers.
Okay, tonight it's Peterborough v Leyton Orient in the Virtue Trophy.
Vertu.
that?
It's a cab drivers league.
Which one is it?
Vertu.
Vertu, mate.
Yeah, the Vertu trophy.
Which one is the Vertu? Is it the old Papa John's? No,
I think it might be
the Papa John's.
I'm
okay,
not really across it. I know Posh had a bit of a ropey old stuff.
They've had a terrible start,
Ropey
Peterborough
start to
and
the
Leyton Orient. I'm going to say Leyton Orient 3, Peterborough 1.
I mean, we don't know what sort of teams they put out.
No,
Weekend sides for the Vertu.
Up for the Vertu. Vertu, mate.
I'm going to go. I'll go 2-1 to the O's.
Okay.
What say you, chat?
Leyton Orient will win 3-0 against Peterborough. Let's go the O's.
Let's go the O's. Leyton Orient.
The O's.
Okay.
So that's us. Have you got anything else to add, chat? I think you probably haven't. I'll probably guess what it is.
So they didn't sign in the end, Paul.
No, as they didn't sign in the end. You can do one. I had enough of them today.
Bournemouth forever, Paul.
Bournemouth.
Up the cherries.
Just no need for that, is there?
I love the Beavers.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, boo.
Anyway,
off.
There we are. That was H&B.
Bad today, wasn't it?
H&B versus.
It's like a bin fire today.
It was a bit of a bin fire. Like when it isn't it. And we got Baker's dozen to come next.
Well, we don't have to do
wasn't
that.
bad.
We won't have to do that.
No, I like it, Charlie. I like it. It's Danny Kelly's idea.
I'm doing the top 12, the Baker's dozen of strikers.
We're going to be chatting very shortly to the author of a new book on Sir Alf Ramsey, The Unseen Sir Alf. It's a fascinating story, a story I didn't know. Most people wouldn't know. The last man to win a World Cup for England, football-wise. So that's all coming up very shortly. We're here with our good friends at Tool Station, standing behind every single tradesperson of Britain. Next stop, Tool Station.
I love the Beavers.
Now, next year, it'll be 60 years of hurt for Frank and Dave.
Laughing.
It'll be the 60th anniversary of England winning the World Cup. And the manager, of course, was Sir Alf Ramsey. And there have been a number of books written about Sir Alf. But this new book is The Unseen Sir Alf. It's called Unseen Sir Alf, a different kind of hero, and tells a very different story, and maybe looks at some of the motivations into what drove him as a coach and what shaped him as a coach to lead him to for England winning that World Cup under him. Grant Bage is the author, and he joins us in the studio. Hi, Grant.
Actually,
what was the kind of catalyst for writing the stories? We said there's been some fine books written about Sir Alf, but you obviously, what got you onto the trail of some of these stories, these unseen stories?
Do you really want to know the full story?
Yeah. Well, we're doing in the time we have allotted. We have to keep it brief, but yes,
keep it brief.
Yeah.
So 2019, it's my birthday. It's a damp, dank December day, and my wife sends me off to the archive at Ipswich. It's my birthday. I said, I want a special treat.
Yeah.
She said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go and root around old letters in an archive because I'm an historian and that's what turns me on.
Yeah.
And she said, okay. And so I went. I'd spotted something and I thought it might be interesting. It was the minutes of the directors meeting in the 1950s and 60s in Ipswich Town. And I looked on the day that Alf Ramsey was appointed because I got interested in Alf, 8th of August 1955. And on the same day, in those notes, they're all kind of written in, handwriting.
Yeah.
There's a little note and it says, oh, Alf Ramsey's appointed, great. There's a player appearing in court, young player. I looked at that and I thought, that's interesting. And I went on a bit further. Oh, it's Ted Phillips, who became an Ipswich legend under Alf Ramsey.
Yeah.
I wonder what was going on there. Went on a bit further. He's appearing in court because he's been accused of gross indecency with another man. And if he pleads guilty or is found guilty, then we're going to have to suspend his contract. Now, obviously, we all know the story of Alf Ramsey. I didn't know the story of Ted Phillips, who was then 22. But Ted Phillips went on to score 41 goals when Ipswich won the 3rd Division under Alf, and about 30 more in each season when they won the 2nd and the 1st. Without those victories, Alf would never have become England manager. And without Alf being understanding and kind and integrating Ted Phillips, who'd been convicted of gross indecency with another man in 1955. There's no way that Alf would have become England manager. That's the story that started me seeing.
And I can understand
different way.
why it would pique your interest, because there people have got perceptions about Alf Ramsey, and that obviously made you think, well, maybe there is more to this. And the more you looked into it, is that you looked into his background, and there's some really interesting stuff about. The only way to put it is that throughout his time in sort of playing and especially in management, there was this sort of racist slur that was thrown at him quite often.
Well, because of reading the Ted Phillips story, I thought, well, I'm going to look into Alf a bit more. And when I looked, all the previous biography written about 20 years ago mentioned, I'm going to call it the D word, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. It was
It was a nickname he had,
It's a
wasn't it?
nickname he was given when he
Yeah.
was playing schoolboy football in Dagenham. I thought, that sounds really terrible to a modern ear. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
And it was given to him because he did have a darker skin tone.
Yeah.
And as people who he played schoolboy cricket and football with who said, yes, he had a darker skin tone. But it was also because his family were rumoured, what people said in those days were gypsies. We might say gypsy Romany traveller today.
Yeah.
So he had this double twin track. Now, that use of the D word and also the rumour about his family being gypsies, that started in the late 1920s, early 1930s, and it stuck around with him forever for the whole of his career.
Even for some of his players that played for him in the sort of 60s and 70s, they'd heard the stories and they just took it as read.
They totally had heard the stories. So Bobby Moore, and this is in Leo McKinstry's fantastic biography from 2006, there's Bobby Moore on a team bus in Czechoslovakia in 1973, and the team bus overtakes a caravan of Romany gypsies, and Bobby Moore stands up and calls out to Alf, "Hey, look, Alf, there's a load of your relatives over there." Now, that's an England team bus, not only full of the players, but full of journalists as well. So the fact that the England captain, our hero from 1966, could kind of make that joke shows that it was those kind of twin rumours about his nickname and about his background were alive and kicking all through the 60s, the 70s and 80s. And we know that from other journalists as well. Jimmy Greaves repeated them in 1993 when Alf still had 6 years left to live.
Yeah. I mean, how much do you think that I mean, he was a fantastic footballer. He was part of Arthur Rowe's push and run team in the early 50s that won the title with Spurs. He was a brilliant player. But you also tell the story of how a kind of part-time coaching job kind of set him on the way to ultimately becoming England manager.
Well, it certainly set him on the path to becoming Ipswich manager. And that was another moment when I thought, God, we really don't know Alf Ramsey. He's unseen. Because my stepchildren's granddad, Bill, who passed away quite recently, a few years ago, before he died and just after I'd got married, remarried again, Bill said, "You're interested in Alf Ramsey, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Have a look over there." And there's a team photo, and it's of Bill winning a really prominent amateur league title in 1953-54. 7 people down, there's Alf Ramsey at the back. And he said, Alf Ramsey was my coach. And I kind of thought, that's really interesting. Looked in the biographies. It's either not mentioned or there's half a sentence.
Yeah.
He was there for 3 years. He coached this top kind of
While he was playing at Spurs at the same time?
Whilst he was playing at Spurs, get this, to earn extra money.
Oh, wow.
That's why he did it.
Yeah.
There's this, fantastic memory of someone giving him a lift because he's walking down this dark track. And they give him a lift and he says, you're the new football coach, aren't you? He said, yeah. He said, my name's Alf Ramsey. He said, I said, why are you doing this then? He said, you need to earn a bit of extra money as a footballer, so I come and coach here on a Thursday night. He did it for 3 years.
Wow, really? And then he went off to Ipswich and got the reputation and then ultimately became the England manager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's some talk of neurodivergency is absolutely everywhere now because we know a lot more about how the human brain works. And, and that was prevalent in Alf, it says in your book.
Well, I'm asking the question. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I've got a big background in education, so I've come across neurodivergence quite often. But I'm not a psychologist. I'm not trying to make a diagnosis, but it's really interesting when you look at how his Spurs teammates talked about him, when you look about how his Southampton teammates talked about him. They were all saying he can be very aloof. He's very detached. He seems a bit anxious. He's very silent. He's rather obsessed with football. He never talks about anything else. And when I looked at the way his kind of characteristics and his behaviours, they all seem to align with neurodivergence. And then I was looking at his strengths. He had this amazing capacity. Before you could film on a phone and before it was easy, he could watch a game and 5 years later, he would tell you the 6 or 7 passes that led up to a disaster that resulted in a goal, because he was a defender, of course, or that created a goal for the attackers. He could tell you which foot somebody passed with, the left or the right. He knew all of that. He had an absolutely photographic memory for football games, for nothing else. His wife said if you send him out shopping, he comes back with everything missing.
Yeah.
But for football, absolutely photographic memory. He was obsessed with football all his life.
Yeah. Well, it's a fascinating story, and as I said, maybe it's a chance to reevaluate what sort of shaped him and some of the things that fed into his success. It was a sad end for him, wasn't it? After England failed to qualify for the '74 World Cup, and that was kind of it for him. And he felt like a broken man after that. Whenever you saw him afterwards, he sort of, he loved doing the job, and he never really recovered from it, did he?
I think you're right. I mean, that's so perceptive because he was a broken man. I mean, he had a brief spell as manager of Birmingham City in '77. It never really worked out, and he didn't have enough money. He was always, it seemed, short of money. And I think his wife in particular became pretty bitter about the Football Association and his very small pension when Don Revie, who'd spectacularly kind of messed up everything, was getting 4 times the salary that Alf had ever got.
Yeah.
So he did feel very neglected. And one of the things that I would love is that there's a reconciliation in some way with Alf's memory, because in the late 80s and the 1990s, somehow it seemed to become poisoned. He should be our national football hero. There's a statue of Bobby Moore outside Wembley, but Alf's, the only thing that Alf has got is a kind of a bust of his head, and it's in the players' tunnel. It's just before they go out at Wembley. He's unseen. Again, he's still unseen. There should be a national statue.
Well, we should bottle some of what he had for next year. We might go and win it on the 60th anniversary. Grant Bage's book, The Unseen Sir Alf, A Different Kind of Hero, is published by Pitch, and it is out now. Good to see you, Grant. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks very much.
Still to come this afternoon, a Baker's Dozen. We'll have a Paddy's Pick, and Richard Thompson will be here, chair of the ECB. I hope he's not watching the cricket. South Africa, 10 without loss, South Africa currently in reply to England's pretty poor knock. 132 to win they need. Anyway, Richard will be telling us about a very exciting tie-up between talkSPORT and the Alzheimer's Society.
Roy Hodgson's feeling really sorry for Mark Guehi. After his move to Liverpool fell through over the lack of a replacement and pressure from Oliver Glasner, Hodgson told talkSPORT Palace should be the winners here.
He's such a good player. To have a player of that calibre and a captain and leader of that calibre still with you should be seen as advantageous, but it remains to be seen, of course, how upset he may have been by what's happened during...
But former Palace chairman Simon Jordan says Liverpool could well be back in January and Guehi's stock is only going to rise.
35 million quid. You can't buy a top centre half for 35 million quid. And so the fact he's going to be free next year, I mean, he's going to be able to feed this generation, the generation after that, and the generation after that, and the opportunity is going to arrive in his salary as a result of there being no transfer fee.
Elsewhere, Gianluigi Donnarumma's now joined Man City for £26 million on a 5-year contract. Ederson's thanked Pep for 8 beautiful years. He's off to Fenerbahce. Plus, Manuel Akanji's joining Inter on a season-long loan. And Fulham have signed Jonah Kusi-Asari on loan from Bayern Munich. All the latest transfer news is at talksport.com. And former St Mirren captain and manager Jimmy Bone has died aged 75. He was St Mirren assistant when they won the Scottish Cup in 1987. Bone also played up front for Partick Thistle, Norwich City, Sheffield United and Celtic.
Yes, Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Richard Thompson from the ECB joining us very shortly to talk about a new tie-up between talkSPORT and the Alzheimer Society. Before that, though, it is time for Paddy's
Paddy's Pick. Oh, good news.
Paddy's Pick on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, be careful aware, don't talk.
It's our regular feature in association with Paddy Power. In Paddy's Pick, I'm asking Charlie to identify a mystery sports personality who's made news headlines in the recent past. And his Paddy's Pick of the week. Charlie gets 5 clues to work out who it is. We'll start with £50 in the pot. And for every clue that gets used up, £10 is taken away. Paddy's Pick, all for charity. We're raising funds for the Rowcroft Hospice, a South Devon charity delivering end-of-life care and support to over 2,000 patients and their loved ones each year. So, Charlie, are you ready?
I'm ready, Paul.
I've not turned the page. I don't turn the page. I don't know if you've got a fighting chance or not.
Who knows?
Oh, wow.
Well, I've won the last 2, so they always try and mess me up on if I win. If I keep winning, they hate
it. This is a tough one. Wow, I think that, yeah. This week's pick is a Premier League forward who scored an historic goal the weekend before last. Can I tell you
historic goal?
Can I tell you it was the first goal at a new stadium?
Oh, okay. It's for Everton. They scored at the last goal at Goodison. No. Diarra.
It isn't. I know you know who it is.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't know if this is going to help you. He began his career playing football with French clubs Rouen.
No, I can't remember his name. And I said to myself the other day, I said, this is such a good quiz question.
He's male. If you said,
I know
he's male, and if he wasn't very ill, he'd be an ill man.
He'd be an Iliman Njai.
Iliman Njai. Congratulations, Charlie. Yes. I didn't.
I mean, you sort of told me, Paul, but you knew I knew it.
I did know, and
that was good.
It felt really okay, fantastic. We know.
Production level there.
Yeah, it's just
insane.
40 quid.
40 quid. I mean, should we call it 30 for the sake of Paddy Power? No, 40 quid.
Paddy can afford an extra tenner.
Good.
For the Rowcroft. And I had to give you a little bit of help with it. Admit
a little bit of help.
If you can't think of someone's name, I would have
just gone. And I've been saying to myself, remember that, because that'll come up in a pub quiz at some point.
He was at Sheffield United 2009, scored 21 goals, 77 appearances, played for Senegal, scored twice, 27 appearances, signed for Everton, 24. Yeah, and as you rightly said, got the new goal at the Hill Dickinson and scored the last goal.
Yes.
So, yeah, £40 raised for the Rowcroft.
A name no one will ever forget.
The unforgettable. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power, official H&J betting partner, 18 plus, only begambleaware.org.
Paddy's Pick on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Now time for quite a contentious feature that was devised by Danny Kelly in my absence, but I like it, so we've kept it. It's called Baker's Dozen.
Baker's Dozen.
In terms of a title, it's quite Route 1. But it's just basically Charlie putting a dozen things together, and we invite the talkSPORT listener, they'll be doing it quite late in the show today, to add the 13th.
They add the 13th one, Paul. And there's the format. It's strikers after Alexander Isak.
Yeah. Do you mean going on strike or scoring?
Well, let's find out, shall we, Paul?
Yeah, OK.
Strikers, here we go. Bit of Jerry Rafferty going on in the background.
Yeah.
At number 12, it's Billy Elliott's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Elliott's dad.
He went on strike.
He went on strike. He struggled, didn't he, Paul? He tried to be a scab.
Isn't Billy Elliott's dad Dom Holland? Our old mate Dom Holland. It was at one point, yeah.
He tried to go through in the bus, didn't he? But his son got him off. And in at 11 is Billy Elliott's brother.
Oh,
He's there, a very good striker. Yeah. Very good striker.
Two good strikers. Any other strikers?
Yeah, at 10, Rodney Jack. Torquay United's
he was
greatest ever striker. Very good.
Yeah.
Nick Jarvis, who was the Sun strip striker.
Oh, yes.
He was... That was the name of the player.
Striker for years.
Striker in Sun, he's in it.
This is not what I was expecting, really.
Not you expected. The rally striker. Did you ever have a rally striker, Paul?
I had a rally chopper.
Yeah, but we'll do 12 best choppers next week.
Okay. That's not
No, there's a promise. The rally striker, Paul, was a brilliant bike.
Lovely bike.
Oh, such a good bike.
What colour do you have it in?
There was the one down from the grifter.
Yeah, okay.
One down from the rally grifter.
Right. I had you down as a bit of a grifter.
I thought you were going to say that's the rally striker. Anyway, there we are. That was 9. In at 8, it's the women of Greece in the play Lysistrata.
Oh, yeah.
Who withheld sex from their husbands to end the Peloponnesian War.
Peloponnesian War, yeah.
Yeah, which is a fictional war.
Yeah,
it wasn't a real war, but there we are. So there we are. In at 7, the Match Girls of 1888.
Oh, yeah, the Little Match Girls.
The Little Match Girls. They went on strike for Brian and May.
Yeah.
I mean, Great and Queen, wasn't he?
Yeah, Brian. Two great. Brian and May were played up front, didn't they, from Derby in the 1960s?
That was in 1888, led by Annie Besant, who, of course, famously saved a penalty
in the cup final from John Aldridge. Despite having to make all those matches.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Lee Trundle.
Oh, yeah, and he's got to get in.
Lee Trundle in there. I don't know what we're up to now, 6 or 7.
Yeah, go on then.
The Tube Drivers of London Town.
Okay, yeah.
Good strikers, Paul.
Good strikers,
often there.
Yeah.
Ted Striker, who is the pilot in the film Airplane.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ted Striker.
That's right.
There we are. That's 5.
Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Him. There we are. We're getting towards the end now.
Yeah.
Gary Goals. Gary Goals. You've seen the advert for Gary Goals.
Gary Goals, the advert.
Gary Goals. I'll read you the advert for Gary Goals if you've not seen it.
Yeah.
My name's Gary Goals, and I'm a top-class striker, and I will play for your team.
Oh, yes.
My stats: trials at Doncaster United, played against Wayne Rooney's cousin.
That's right.
I do all types of goals: free kicks, bicycle kicks, and the penalties.
No goal too small.
There we are.
Yeah.
So there we are. Gary Goals.
How many left?
In at 4.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're trying to get rid of it, Paul, but we'll move on. What do we get up to? I think that's it. Oh, no, we've got one more.
Okay.
Jimmy Greaves.
Ah, yeah. Well, okay.
In at 1.
You'll get no argument from me on that one.
In at 1, Jimmy Greaves. There we are. So there's my 12, Paul.
They're good, Chuck.
If people want to add a 13th.
13th striker before 4 o'clock. Let us know. TalkSport.com, text 81089. Tell us a little bit more about it in a few moments' time. Will be the chair of the ECB, England Wales Cricket Board, Richard Thompson, joining us for a chat shortly. We're here with our good friends at Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station. Hawksbee, Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. South Africa, 34 without loss. Their target's 132 at Headingley today, not England's.
Not looking that positive, Paul, is it? No.
But we'll keep an eye on that. Back to John Norman a little bit later on. And we chat now to the chair of the England-Wales Cricket Board as part of a tie-up between the Alzheimer's Society and talkSPORT. We're very proud to say lots of new things going on in the world of sport with the Alzheimer's Society leading up to World Alzheimer's Day on Sunday the 21st of September, including a new film which features Sir Geoff Hurst, Georgia Stanway, and indeed England fast bowler Mark Wood. And say Richard joins us now. Good afternoon, Richard.
Hello, Richard.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
Very well.
Yeah, good, thank you. So I know you're an ambassador for the Alzheimer's Society. Do you have a kind of connection to the society?
Well, my connection goes back to my father died of Alzheimer's and my mother is struggling with it. So or living with it. So I felt I had to do something. So actually, rather than I'm here today as chairman of the Sport United Against Dementia and an ambassador of the Alzheimer's Society, so I kind of pretty much wearing three hats. And in doing so, I'm trying to use any influence or access I have in sport to help people and to help draw attention to the nation's biggest killer, a disease that has no cure, and in a way in which sport is the great convener, in the way it can bring so many people together to help draw attention to the fact that you can do things about dementia, and certainly we can help with cure, awareness, and the ability to live with dementia as well. I mean, it's a very difficult disease and something that I can promise you would never want to see any of your loved ones go through.
No, I think an awful lot of people listening today will concur with that. I experienced it through my mother-in-law, and it was heartbreaking to see her deteriorate the way she did. I just wonder, chatting to the specialists and scientists around the Alzheimer's Society, Richard, as you do as an ambassador, do you feel more optimistic for the future? Do you feel things are heading in the right direction in terms of treatment or not?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, since we set up Sport United Against Dementia within the Alzheimer's Society, we've seen an incredible leap forward in the last 2 years, where you really feel like we're on the cusp. There's a genuine sense that you can see hope for the very first time. And that's really saying something, where this has been a very dark period for so long, when you've got over 1 million people living with dementia in the UK, and there is very little hope. But now, for the first time, the ability to slow the disease down, for better diagnosis. I think one of the worst statistics, there are more than a third of the people in the UK living with dementia don't have a diagnosis.
Right.
So that in itself, if you can imagine other diseases, you might have cancer or whatever, the chances are you would have a diagnosis. But to be living with Alzheimer's or one of the other dementias and not know that's shocking. And the fact that 2 in 5 people live with dementia feel ashamed, stigmatized, and don't feel confident enough to seek treatment and seek help is something that we have to address.
I think the most difficult thing about dementia and Alzheimer's is you say goodbye to the person you love twice. And so it's so important to make memories with that person for yourself and different things that you can show them. And sport can really play a part in that.
Oh, a huge part. I mean, I think that's a good point, well made. And one thing we've seen, particularly with sport, and I saw this with my father when I was chairman of Surrey, and I'd take Dad to a test match, and this was probably 2 years before he got maybe a year before he got a diagnosis. He thought it was at a Surrey match. He was actually at an Ashes match and just couldn't understand why there were so many people here. And I felt slightly insulted that Surrey can pull a crowd as well. But the reality was that confusion was beginning to take hold, and that was a big red flag to get a diagnosis. But the impact is that somebody living with Alzheimer's might look at their grandchildren and wouldn't necessarily be able to put a name to them. But if you took them back to Goodison Park, if they were an Everton fan, they remember the year they won the FA Cup final, or they could name the key players when Surrey won 8 championships in the 50s, or the great Ashes winning sides. Sport creates these lifelong anchors. and you put people back in the environment where they had those and enjoyed those passions, it's extraordinary how it invokes those memories in a way that possibly only sport can do. Which is why what we're doing through sport is such an important aspect of the overall fight against the disease. And you want to be able to say that somebody that has Alzheimer's dementia isn't suffering from it, but is living with it. Yeah. So at least they can live their best life. And one of the things that we've done a lot of is to try and create dementia-friendly grounds. So, you know, there wouldn't be a stadia that anyone has never been into where there isn't an area for people with a disability or a wheelchair. But where's an area for somebody suffering from Alzheimer's that needs to be slightly away from everywhere else? Well, we're really accelerating a program. So a carer, and the carer tends to be the husband or the wife or the daughter or the son, can take their loved one back to their place of passion to enjoy their team. And you just see the lights go on. Yeah. And I saw this happen so much with Dad, where the lights would go on. And it just, you know, you just see those sparks come back, and it means so much to you, but certainly so much more to the person living with Alzheimer's. And I think that's why this stigmatization around the disease has got to be dealt with, and people shouldn't be locked away and you feel afraid to take them out. That's the worst thing you can do. And as I say, sport is the best opportunity, and if sports grounds around the country can find a way to become dementia friendly, which is something Alzheimer's Society is very keen to help with, that will make a huge difference to a lot of people's lives.
So yeah, sport is going to be front and centre, and talkSPORT will be as well in the build up to World Alzheimer's Day. There is the film I mentioned earlier on featuring those sports stars. We're going to be chatting to football fans and sports fans with personal experience of dementia. There's a Huddersfield walk, a special walk in honor in memory of the great Dennis Law as well at Huddersfield, and the LMA managers will be wearing badges around the weekend of World Alzheimer's Day across the EFL and WSL and Premier League. So lots going on, Richard.
Yeah, lots going on, and we've got a match on Sunday at Hampshire. We're using that opportunity and Mark Wood's experience, the England ODI at Hampshire this week. We've got TNT, Andrew Giorgio, who's been absolutely fantastic in his support across all of the sport that they're covering over that weekend. I know Joe Cole, Ellen McCoist are all involved in this, but it's trying to bring everyone together in the sporting community to recognise they want to draw attention to this awful disease that you can do so much to help. So hopefully you'll see the Forget-Me-Not pin badge appearing where people recognise that that is Alzheimer's month. And there's a lot of sport being played, whether it's football, cricket, horse racing, throughout the month, that people should become more and more aware of the month.
Yeah, well, we look forward to getting involved, Richard. We'll let you get back to the one day, although you may not want to at the moment. But thanks for your time this afternoon. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
There we are. This Richard Thompson, the chair of the England and Wales Cricket Board. And yeah, we're delighted and proud to be part of this, building up to World Alzheimer's Day on the 21st of September. We'll tell you more over the next couple of weeks. That is us. I'm back tomorrow with Andy. You'll be back on Thursday.
See you Thursday, Paul. Yeah.
Did we get our 13th?
Many of which about three we can't read out. Yeah. And a reminder, Jimmy Grimble. I can read that one out.
Jimmy
Grimble. Thank you, Reese.
Yeah.
The others not suitable for daytime radio.
No. Coming up next, it is Andy Goldstein and Darren Bentwood Drive. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.